whiskey would be the easiest thing for me because most times I'm working like the scene stuff, dude, I'm usually drinking like whiskey of a variety.
So that's what you normally drink is a whiskey when you go out. Just kind of sip on it.
Yep. Well, I mean, so if I'm working on one of the videos stuff, I'll like start off with like a shot. Like, for better, for worse, dude, like working at, well, not working, but like helping like booking promotion stuff over at Mulligan's. Like, Emily, one of the main, bartenders. Like, as soon as she lay eyes on me, dude, she just like fucking like set up a shot and just fucking slide over to me.
Right.
I wouldn't say anything, wouldn't hop in line, I just expect a fucking shot like sliding over to me as soon as I walk in there. So I throw that shit back and it just kind of like get spared and just kind of like start socializing stuff because,
right.
like, I feel like all of my jobs are just like literally based on being social the entire time. You know what I mean? Which is really cool. Like, I like talking to people. I like hanging out with people. I feel like it's a skill that not everybody possesses on a like consistent basis. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's hard to keep a conversation going. Like for a lot of people, it's just kind of like you'll comment on a few things and you're like just like yep. What's the next thing? I don't have anything to elaborate on. I'm just good.
It's like one of those like smile and nod like yeah.
yeah. When you don't get something, you're just yeah. I seen that. Nope. Dude, but we all do that. If you're gonna sit here and tell me you've never done that, come on, man.
No, I've absolutely had.
Yeah,
like, can't
dude.
even tell you.
Yeah.
Like, there's been some situations, dude. So, like, what is it? I mean, I know a lot of people. Like, I'm really social. Obviously, if anybody knows anything of me, like, I'm social as fuck. But, like, with the biggest piece, dude, I decided to, like, hang out with, like, a crowd of people I wasn't typically hanging out with, you know what I mean? And next thing you know, like, I'm bouncing around going, like, this club, that club, and, like, I don't do clubs. Like, I have nothing against clubs. I've just never, like...
been a club person.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, I'll go to EDM shows, go to rock shows. I mean, like, just, like, music shit, right?
Right.
But inside of a club, I'm like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. In that setting, like, I guess I'm not going to be the one that's going to go out there and just...
Exactly.
Yes. I mean, maybe get me on some X or something. Maybe it'd be different.
Right, at that point, you're just, like, more, like, loose and free, the more so than, like, actually doing, you know what I mean, contributing, so.
Yeah. But no, I've always been really, like, super into dubstep and stuff. Like, Datsick is what really got me into dubstep.
Yeah.
You've heard of him?
Absolutely.
Yes, absolutely. Well, I mentioned him to a couple other people before, and they're like, Datsick. I'm like, would you just listen to Skrillex or something? Is that exclusively your dubstep, like, discography? That is Skrillex or something? Like, I don't know. He really got me into it. I've never been to like a dubstep, like, like a show. Everybody would say like a rave or something. I've never really been to something like that. I had the chance at Orion Fest when Metallica did that thing at Belle Isle in Detroit.
Yeah.
But there was too many other bands I wanted to go see.
Yep.
And other attractions too that they had going on there. I don't know if you went or you heard anything about it.
Nope, I did not. Because, like, my biggest exposure to Datsick is I used to work in T-Vinyl at the T-Store, like, years ago, right? I've been at, like, a GameStop for, like, 5 years, 6 years, whatever. But before that, immediately, I was at T-Vinyl. When I was working inside the Dearborn Mall, there was a girl that used to work with Taylor, and, like, she was always like, Datsick, and, like, more or less, like, shoving his name in my face the entire time.
Right.
And, like, coming to find out, they're, like, actually, like, homies, you know what I mean? So that was really fucking cool, but, like, I didn't get a chance to, like, kick it with her outside of work because just work kept on sweeping me up, and I was over in, like, the east side, and it wasn't, like, in my full footing. That's when I found Echo, and there's a whole lot of life that took place when I was living over in, like, over there, but... I like it over here now a whole lot though too.
Yeah, so that can kind of break into a conversation about your band Echo of Silence. It's kind of like, so what is it, like half the members on this side, half on the other, or is it
Yeah, realistically, because like
so who's all on this side of the state? Who's on the other?
Me, Derek, and Randy, the three. So me,
so
the
you,
vocalist
and drummer, are on this side of the state.
Yep, and then the rest of the strings are out east.
So the bassist and other guitarists are on the east side of the state.
Yeah.
So they kind of like help get the gigs over there, or do you kind of, who does the booking for you, man? Do you kind of do the booking?
I do a lot of it.
Or does everybody do it, or is it?
It's definitely a group effort.
Most of the time, it goes down to like one person.
Yeah, like I handle like a lot of it, but like how to say, Aaron's been taking care of a whole lot of stuff out east lately. I'm like, yo, dude, because while I'm over here, I can like promote stuff. I can like hand out flyers. I can see people face to face. Like, yo, dude, show, here's the music, blah blah blah. Take care of my stuff. There are times when I can like afford to be able to drive over to East and kind of like hang out and like catch up with old homies and blah 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 blah.
Right.
But most of the time, like he's taking care of all the stuff over on that side.
So where did you originate from on that side? What area of Detroit?
Um, Dude, so like since I was 17, like barring the past like 3 years, I've changed my address once a year every year. Again, since I was 17, dude. So like when I first moved over there, I was in Livonia off of like Middle Belt and was it Plymouth? But then I moved to what is that, Walled Lake?
Walled Lake.
Yeah, after I left Walled Lake, so I was working at the Spoilbook Mall. Left there. I lived over in Southfield for a while. Left Southfield to a different, or no, left that one to Canton, then to Southfield, and then I hopped over to Redford for a bit. Then I stopped into a place like a house in Livonia, and I finally made my way back over here to GR.
Dang. Yeah, so bounced around.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah. I did the same thing, but it was in the same fucking city though. I was in like every day. I was in every part of the city. I like you kept showing the north side, south side, east side, west side. It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
I've
bouncing
been
around.
there. Yeah, so I get the bouncing around, but yeah. But you know, I mean, Detroit. A lot of it's kind of it's neighborhood-ish, but until you get stretched too far. But that's a lot of people think Detroit and they think the GM Towers.
Immediately.
Immediately. That's what they think Detroit is. They're like, yeah, I've been to Detroit. It's not that bad.
Right.
I'm
like the
I'm like,
dirty
bro,
parts.
have
man,
you
they
ever
exist.
been, because what we do is urban exploring. I'm like, you ever been urban exploring Detroit? Because, yeah.
Yeah, because like, dude, there's if you saw like we have a music video for 22, we shot in like the middle of like a skate park. There's like a skate park, basketball room, whatever.
Right.
But like, dude, shortly after we shot that music video, there's a shooting there.
Right.
Like damn near immediately. Because like typically there's nobody that's over like inside of that area. You know what I mean? But then because we were over there, then other people were like feeling more like confident. Like, oh shit, yeah, let's go, yeah, let's take a look.
Yeah, we've seen this being done over there. We can go over there.
No, that's not
No,
the situation at all. So like from what I could tell, like nobody was hurt, but there was absolutely gunshots as we heard them. You know what I mean, coming from that vicinity. So
Right.
it's a different how to say pace. You know, like I feel like the metaphor that I've given previously to the people that are only familiar with this side or only familiar with that side, right? So I feel like everybody over in like Detroit has like a light jog as like a pace if everyone's just like moving like down a track, right? Everyone that has like a light jog over in Detroit. Over here in like GR, it's just like a slow pace. You know what I mean? Like taking their sweet time, spinning their keys, you know what I mean, sniffing flowers and shit.
Yeah.
Which is cool, but like I feel like I got more life experience and stuff when I was over in Detroit because there's just so much stimulus and
Yes,
so
I
much
feel the
stimulation
same way.
around me on a consistent basis, dude.
I feel the same way when I was born over here in Holland, and then when I moved to the east side over to like the Bay City, Saginaw area, and that's where I stayed when I was a freshman in high school. So
Yeah.
I moved as a freshman. I didn't know fucking jack shit for anybody, and I was moved to a totally different area, totally different like social area. Like different demographics. Like a lot more. Like over here there was like. I could probably say on one hand how many black guys I had in my grade.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Then I go over
Absolutely.
there, and then there's a lot more.
Everywhere.
And there's a lot more. There's a lot more Asians. There's a lot more everybody over there. And so, so to me, when I went there, I was like, oh wow, this is totally different. I don't have one damn. I got one kind of friend, that I kind of know, And I'm over there, and it's just a whole new thing, a whole new fucking experience. And I forgot where I was going with this already.
Dude, you're completely cool. Because I mean,
No,
like, it's the case
where-
where. Go ahead.
No, where were we headed with that?
Well, I mean, we talked about band music, how I met the guys, different
Yeah.
cities I was living inside of, different times. The most recent comparison was the faster pace over there versus the slower pace over here, and just like the experience that you got from going to like a more bigger, diverse at this point.
Yeah, bigger, diverse area, and just from just from this side of the state, just versus that side, because you said over here and versus Detroit, and then just the experiences that you learn and stuff over there was where I was going with it. That's what you said, the experiences that you learned over in Detroit versus over here. It really does help to define you as a person. I think it's
Largely.
I think it's I think about it sometimes. I'm like like with my kids, like, because I got kids now, and I'm like, man, like, how much do I coddle them versus let them
do what they want,
do it, and experience, like life how it should be, almost is kind of the way I view it, I guess.
Yeah.
Because I didn't have that, like, no, you shouldn't do that all the time. It wasn't there, so I experienced it myself, and I've learned, when I came over here, there was a lot more experiences of, like or when I came over to the east side, there's a lot more of like, like fights, and a lot more of like just having to kind of protect yourself a little bit. You kind of, watch yourself more, like you said, like more real. And that's in Detroit, when we were there, when we were urban exploring, me and my wife actually went to Cooley High School. Nice. It's a hot spot.
Yeah.
A lot of people have been there. Have you been there? Mm-hmm. Exactly. A lot of people have been there. A lot of people have been there. And we're like, this is the first time I was kind of going out. We were doing this. And I'm like, let's go here. A lot of people have been here. Obviously, there's probably going to be a way to get in.
Yeah.
So we did. We found it. And we were outside. I was taking shots of the outside of the building. We had people even driving by like, what the hell are you doing around here? Like that. And
yeah.
It's like people are protective of their own areas, and they have a right to be. But I guess it just kind of goes down to, what are you doing there?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like, literally, how are you spending your time? Are you destroying stuff? Are you, like, being a vandalist?
Are you walking around the same block 3, 4, or 5 times in a row?
Casing it?
Yeah, like, what are you doing here? Like, obviously, I got a camera. I got this and that. Maybe they're just wondering what the hell we're doing. It's just all on how you kind of act and how you acclimate to the environments that you're in.
Especially how you carry yourself. Like, that's a big thing. It sounds cliche, I'm sure you've heard it before, but if you walk around with a purpose and, like, direct, like, no one's gonna, like, stop and fuck with you, like, a whole lot. Like, there's still gonna be some people, but, like, if you're
just
walking,
get that tunnel vision.
Yeah, people are like, oh, he's doing some shit.
Yeah. Yeah. After he goes by, like, what the fuck was he doing?
If you see somebody that's, like, airhead, like, oh, what the fuck's that? You know what I mean? They're like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, they're more apt to ask you right away, like, what the fuck are you doing, dude?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I think Detroit gets like a bad rap in that way. Like, oh, you go there, you're gonna be fucked with.
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of people that, have this like huge negative connotation, whether it's like the news, media, word of mouth, I don't fucking know. But like, I even have that similar piece with it too. Like, it's one of those like, oh, if I go too close to Detroit, then I'm gonna get fucked up, I'm gonna get robbed, and like I even had those like mindsets set up, right, dude? So I can actually like lead in with, so when I was living over in Southfield, right? So obviously I have locks, but like the case where I didn't have anybody do my hair over there for a while, so my shit was looking like a fucking bird's nest. It was bad, shit. Right? And then so neighbor girl, like I was playing my acoustic inside my room, like upstairs, whatever, and like there's like a playground outside.
You got the acoustic, you got the ratted hair.
Like I look like a fucking hippie. And there's nothing wrong with hippies. I'm cool with them, obviously, but there's a case where like I was just looking fucking haggard. But like played a couple songs. There's like some kids outside, and like after I finished playing the song, I heard like a really soft applause. I was like, what the fuck is this? Right. So I go outside the window, see some kids, whatever. They're like, come down and play. I'm like, get your parents first, dude. I'm like, I'm not trying to go down there and play with, you know what I mean? That's just it's weird.
Yeah.
So had the parents come out, like introduce myself, talk to them, blah blah blah. And neighbor girl came out, she's like, yo, you got someone to do your hair? And I'm like, no, does it look like I do? The fuck? And she's like, I do hair. I'm like, okay, you know what I mean? So how to say, fast forward, I didn't be like, she's like a loctician. She actually professionally does fucking hair, right?
Okay.
So she does hair over at like 8 Mile in Livernois. You know what I mean? It's not the worst area, it's not the greatest area, but there's like fucking like barbed, like how to say, barricaded windows in a lot of places. Yep. It's like it's Detroit,
Yeah.
So I go out there and get my hair taken care of, right? And she's like, yo, Will, are you in a band? I'm like, no, I'm looking for a band though. And she's like, yo, Jabril, ain't you in a band? My bass player now. You know what I mean? He was like, yeah, I play bass. And then he's loctician too, so he was like twisting fucking Aaron's hair at the time. Oh. And then so he was like, yeah, I'm his guitarist. So like I'm like leaning back, getting my hair, like washed at the time, you know what I mean? And I'm like looking down at Aaron, and he's like, yeah, and he's getting his hair fucking dried. And then so like I get up, hair fucking dripping, show him my music. He shows me his music, and I'm like, we end up like meeting. That's where Echo met. Like as far as me being introduced to those guys,
right?
It's literally at fucking 8 Mile in Livernois, dude. Like for real, So
that's cool.
It's one of those like if I was still like super like, oh my god, I can't go to the truck, you know what I mean? I've never fucking met these guys, you know. So like it's one of
Exactly.
those. I do feel that a lot of cases inside of life, just overall in general, is that you have to. It's almost like a risk reward system, you know. So you have to put yourself inside of like an awkward situation or a situation where you may lose or like just come out empty handed
Right.
to be able to come up and like get some shit, because like it's not always like about the guaranteed. You're not always gonna be like, oh, here's $1 million guaranteed. You know what I mean? Those are typically, yeah, dude, for real, like those are usually like the scams, cons, whatever, you know. But like if you actually metaphorically or realistically gamble, that's where you get like pretty healthy and substantial fucking come ups, dude. At least that's
Right.
what I feel, and that's what I've learned in a lot of like just cases inside of my life, dude.
Right. Right. Well, that's cool. I would have never guessed, you know, sitting there basically in like a. So were you guys in like a shop where they were doing hair? Or where were you hanging out when this happened? Was it in a shop?
Yeah,
You were
dude, so
doing-
like,
so, like
you
in
know-
a
you know
barber
what
shop, basically.
Yeah, like literally a barbershop.
Barber
Instead
shop,
of cutting
you guys are
hair,
sitting
but
there,
they
they-
twist locks.
So they twist locks.
Yeah, that's literally. I don't
Yeah.
know what you want to call it. You know what I mean? I know that like
Yeah.
instead of calling them barbers, they're effectively
lock shop.
locticians. Yeah, but they're literally a lock shop.
Lock
You know what I
shop.
mean?
Sitting
Yeah.
there, getting twisted. You guys all meet like shit. Here we go.
It was
All
really
right.
funny though, dude, because
All
like
right.
Jabril, he was like, "All right, man, what's your number?" Da-da-da. So I gave him my number, and then he was fucking walking out of the goddamn like the shop. You know what I mean? He's like, "All right, man, hit me up." I'm like, "Phone works both ways, dude." Like he never gave me his fucking number, so I'm like,
Right.
like,
the fuck?
like I will hit you up if I have any digits to hit up.
Do
Like
you-
that's
yeah,
completely cool.
I do not know your number.
Yeah,
bro.
I can kind of like I can like stalk the fucking store, but like I feel like that's shady in and of itself. So like,
Yeah.
and Aaron hearing the shit back and forth, he was like, "Let me get your number, man." So like, me and him exchanged numbers. He got a hold of me, and then it's been history ever since. And it's been fucking
Shit.
wild.
And
dude.
what year was that?
Dude, shot in the dark, fucking 14, 15. I might
14
be
or
wrong
15?
with that,
Yep.
dude. Yeah, but I'm pretty sure it was like 2014, 2015.
Then when did you guys like first play a show?
Man, so like my first official show with Echo, dude. So this is gonna be really bad to be able to say, but Aaron knows shit. Like everyone at Echo knows this stuff, dude. So like we had joined up for a couple of practices, and a lot of the time was just chilling, smoking, just shooting shit. You know what I mean?
Right.
It wasn't even like us holding like our instruments and actually like doing stuff. So I was like, man, this ain't shit. You know what I mean? This ain't gonna work out. Da da da. And then so what does it do? Like He's Legend had a show. Like He's Legend, one of my favorite bands like overall. He's Legend had a show over the Crowfoot, and like because I was in the Judgment Paris years ago, irrelevant really, but I was with those guys and met like different promoters and different booking agents, different places. So I already knew the dude that was like looking for the talent because like he made a post on Facebook. So I was like, "Yo, we should play the show," and they're like, "Yo, you should really be our guitarist though," and I was like, guilty, you know what I mean?
Guilty.
So yeah, so I was like super guilty with it, dude. So like, yo, let's go ahead, like let's play the show, and I'll like take this more seriously because then I can see that you guys are actually like trying to do some shit, you know?
Right.
And then so like I got the show locked. We ended up playing that show, dude. Had a blast with it, you know? So like the entire time, dude, because I wasn't used to playing like live music at the time. Like a lot of times, like Jarrell was like pushing me and like shoving me, and she's like, "Yo, man, move, nigga, move. You can't stand still like a bitch." And like it's like talking so much shit. Like all of us talk shit. If anybody like if you've seen us, dude, together, like we're just a collective of shit talking on a consistent
Right.
basis. It's just who we are.
Right.
But like it wasn't until Jabril was like pushing me that I got like super comfy actually moving around on the stage and stuff, dude. So it's really interesting to be able to see like the dynamic because one of the things that like we as a band agreed upon that we were like, yo, if people are gonna go and see like a live show, they want to see a show. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
if you and then, again, there's nothing wrong with the people that are like singing still because like some people just like don't have that comfort level. It's a thing, you know.
Right.
But if people go to a performance, they probably want to see a fucking performance. If they want to hear your music, they can just
Well-
like throw in your like CD for the greater part of it.
My opinion on that is there is a problem because I think, you know, he takes a drink. I go, there is a problem. He's like, well, I'm going to take a drink.
Here we are.
Well, no, I think there's just a slight problem, as in I get there's certain parts in songs where like absolutely you should just be standing still and you should just be like
Because you need to nail your part, dude.
and get that nailed part. But when you stand there the whole time, that's where I have a problem, and that's where I like stress on this podcast too. And like I've told people when I'm talking to a musician, which is like everybody so far, you know, like just move a little bit. Like even when you're at practice, I don't care if you coordinate and at this part in this song, we're gonna switch spots on the stage.
Right.
I don't even care if it's that much. And then you switch back, and then maybe you switch over here again, or maybe you do like some. I don't know if your music requires a crab walk. You know, I don't know.
I wish I
You
remember
do-
the band. Like there's a band I saw years ago at the mixtape, not at like the original mixtape Skeletones after blah blah, but like at the second location of like Skeletones, I was standing stage left, but like it's a 5 piece, right? And then so there's 3 people and 2 people. And then every so often they would literally just like walk back and forth. And then for whatever reason that still stuck with me. I mean, I really wish I remembered who that it was.
who
you know
it
what I mean?
was that
But,
you
like,
seen do that,
yeah,
right?
but that shit, like, even though it was like a simple like step forward, playing the same shit, step backward, still playing the same shit. Like it looked really fucking good.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and that's a minimalist take on just like the small amount of movement, dude. Like, I'm not asking you to do like fucking backflips and cartwheel. Like, if you ever seen like Between the Buried and Me, like back when they were like golden, so to speak,
Okay.
they're doing like fucking spin kicks and like throwing the guitars around, catching it, and fucking.
That's what they're doing live and shit.
Yeah,
okay,
bro,
all right,
dude,
yeah. They're
oh
like
my God.
totally stepping it way up.
Ridiculous. I can never dream. I can never dream of doing that stuff. You know what I mean? Like,
Right. But
maybe
you know,
one day. I don't know. But like,
I just say invest in your own light show.
yep. Lights are easy way, super easy way.
Step
with
up
it.
your fucking live show big time.
Yep.
I'll never forget, like I've said it before, I never forget this band, this touring band. I don't they weren't like a big time touring band. Obviously but they were playing
Yeah, they're playing around.
Yeah, they were playing around. They needed a fill-in gig. They got mulligans. We were asked to play with -2 and Divided They Fall.
Yeah.
Do you remember that one?
Yeah.
What was the headlining band's name? I always forget their name.
Couldn't fucking tell you because like they were going to play a show with it, and like Devin ended up getting a hold of me saying like, yo, we need to be able to have like a band for it. So I was like, yo, Divided They Fall, and I threw them onto that fucking bill because Ica wasn't available for us. So I know
the show that I'm talking
what
about.
show that you're referring to.
Yeah, okay.
But I couldn't remember.
So
like, I cannot
they
tell
came
you.
in and they said, "Fuck your lights, we have our own."
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't enjoy their music really. I didn't
Right.
really like the music, but their fucking show, their light show, was badass. So I watched.
Yep.
I didn't like the music that much. I was like, bro, I'm not that into it. But the light show's great. They're doing their own thing. They got it all set up in certain parts of the songs where they have these fog machines with lights that would shoot straight up, you know, and then
Yep.
they'd be in front of them and it would look like you're at a fucking bigger venue
Right.
inside this small one. But so you feel, you know, your front row.
And you're just like,
And
oh my God.
this is, and I'm just thinking the whole time I was thinking, I need to do this.
Yep.
That's all I was thinking was, I need to do this. That's what bands need to do.
Yeah.
Any band that comes on here or that listens to this, like that's what you guys need to do. You need to invest in your own fucking light show because you can do it. And as long as you can get your bitch ass drummer to play to a click, if he doesn't yet, because I was one of those bitch ass drummers that didn't play to a click. Like I don't need a click, and then I started looking at all this shit, and I'm like, I need to learn how to play to a click.
Yeah.
You know, especially when it came time to album recording, I'm like, yeah, I need to really learn how to play to a click. So as long as you can do that, your possibilities are fucking
They
endless.
open.
Dude.
Yeah, because like one of the things that like I know that like Echo we take pride enough in, dude, is that like we try to do anything and everything like on stage, like I don't say a la carte, but like analog, I guess the more appropriate term for it.
Yeah.
So like we invest in like this like little like stomp box that was like it's like an 808 pedal that like Aaron like made the fucking sound for it. You know what I mean? And he was like, oh, here's a bass drop, and I was like, dope.
Yep,
Programmed
hit
into
that
this freaking
fucking
piece,
pedal.
dude, it's just boom, like freaking thick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like it's a case where if the crowd is like super like feeling into it, you know what I mean? Like you as a musician, I know you know what I'm talking about. Like
Yeah.
when you're doing so much that you feel that like there should be a drop right here and everyone's
And
gonna
you can
fucking
hit it right at that time.
so we can just go ahead and like knock it when it needs to be, you know?
Right.
Like again, like there's a lot of people, which is cool, that like play to like backing tracks and stuff with that, but like we try to like pride ourselves on making sure that anything that we want to do, we can do it when we want to, how we want to, and kind of
Yep.
like almost cater the show to the audience.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Because like if the audience isn't really feeling it, then like I mean like we're still gonna play to our tens and we're not gonna do like all the extras and stuff. We were like doing,
Right.
like, all these bass drops. We were like, what the fuck are they doing, man? Fuck these guys. You know what I mean?
Right, yeah. Who the fuck are these guys? There's 4 people in this room right now.
Yeah, dude,
And
for
they're
real.
fucking trying to lay it down with bass drops and shit. Like, what, you know, whatever. I mean, you still can.
Yeah.
But even with that light the lights, you can still get one of those pedals that you're talking about with your 808,
Yeah,
and you
and
can do
fucking
the
stomp
same
that bitch
thing.
where you need to.
You can
Yep,
do the
yep.
same thing with pedals, and you can line up with like 4 of them for your different fog machines and shit, and you can go whenever you want them.
That'd be really cool.
Dude, it's really,
really
awesome.
cool.
I really wish I would. What I'm hoping is somebody takes my idea and does it so that I can see it.
So you're like, holy shit.
Holy shit, I had a great idea.
Dude, absolutely.
Because that's what I've always wanted. I always wanted to do it, but I never got a chance because my fucking band ended. And I'm like, fuck this. And I'm like, whatever. Hopefully somebody else will do it because that band that came through from that show,
it just
they
needs
did
to be
it.
done.
And they had the 2 key pieces, which was the 2 on the front of the stage that were the lights that shoot straight up with fog.
Yep.
And then they had the back bar that strobed.
Yeah.
It might have had one other light. I'm not sure. But that was about it. And it was still badass. I'm like, fuck, man, that's all you need?
Yeah, minimalist.
I got an Amazon list full of like lighting gear that I'll never buy, but I keep it there like
Like Justin's just one click away.
just one click away from this investment.
Dude, for real. Because I feel like it'd be really fun, dude. Because I truly feel too that when the scene opens back up, because you know that it will. You know what I mean? It'll be some time, but
Yeah.
it will. But like when the scene opens back up, dude, like the bands that were actually like doing shit like over quarantine. I'm not saying that you necessarily had to get together and practice, blah blah blah. Because like, there's no way that we're practically. You know what I mean? It's impossible. We're too fucking far away. You know?
Right.
But like, as long as you're writing, rehearsing, practicing on your own time, like getting better at your trade, and kind of like having like ideas and kind of more or less spitballing and kind of like building on something good. So when the doors are open, you're like, well, look at all the shit that I brought.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
look at all this shit
Yeah,
I've
like,
been coming up with.
yeah, I feel like those bands are gonna be the ones that like ultimately, take over, dude. Like, and it really sucks, dude. It really sucks. There's been a lot of groups that have been like breaking up over the quarantine. It sucks to me. Like, there's people like, man, I can't wait to be able to see Band X after all this shit. And they're like, oh yeah, sorry guys, we put up our last show.
Yeah.
Peace quarantine 2020. I'm like, oh fuck. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I'm glad I saw him during the time, dude. But like, that's opening the fucking floodgates really for a lot of either new bands or bands that are established and running.
What I hope
What's up?
is that there are a lot of those bands that do say fuck it.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of fucking bands.
Yeah.
There's a lot of fucking bands, dude.
There's a lot.
There's a lot of fucking bands. And I think just a lot of them was just like, just stop. Because I'm saying like the ones that are just like you're kind of sometimes it's like to me there's so many and it's just like I know you're just doing this to jam. You're not trying to.
It's not actually a passion.
Yeah, you're just doing it to jam. You like it. You're like, cool, it's fun. I get to hang out with my buds.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking open that slot up for one of these bands that's fucking really trying to do it. They're like 23.
Yep.
They're like 25 and shit, maybe even 18. They're like, I really want this, but I can't get a fucking gig anywhere because there's so many fucking bands.
Yep.
And I got to get in this certain clique
To be able to get found.
fucking get a show, somewhere. And it's like, fuck, man.
Yep.
That's what I was even thinking. I'm like, man, there's just so many bands. There's just a lot. And it's hard to talk about because you don't want to discourage anybody. Like, oh, well, fuck, there's too many bands. Well, maybe I won't start one. Maybe I won't start one. Well, no, do it. But at the same time, I think, that kind of goes down to like venues too. It's like, well, be a little more selective.
I agree with that, dude.
Be a little more selective.
I agree
be
with
like,
that.
Do
Because like there's some
research a
groups
little
that
more.
like rely on certain bands. You know what I mean? We're like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, the show's slot. These guys just bring them back, bring them back,
Bring 'em back, bring
You know
'em
what I mean?
back.
Like,
Come
yo, like
on.
way proud that you can like sell like X amount of tickets with whatever. But like, yo, dude, like there's been I can't think of any offhand. You know, because I'm not in the mindset of like
Right.
work as far as being stuff. But like, you don't know who's gonna be able to sell what and perform what and make the audience perform to what if you're limiting them to like the smaller venues and smaller shows on a regular basis. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like you literally,
Right.
my opinion as a talent buyer, and I feel that being a talent buyer is a harder job than people give credit to. And in that same breath, I do feel like there's like enough talent buyers that just kind of like have their old faithful 5 in their pocket and kind of,
Right.
you know what I mean? Flick that shit in their pocket and it'll make their job easier. And like, I get it. You know what I mean? But I can't tell you like how many times we're like, I'm not working this place, that place, other place, not working that. You know what I mean? I'm just like going to a show and like literally just scoping for talent. Like, what are these guys doing? I haven't heard of any of these
Right.
motherfuckers, dude.
Right.
I'm gonna go. You know
And
what I mean?
that's
Just
why
be
you
like, go
gotta
see.
kind of play to almost that 100 level every show.
Yep.
Because you don't know who's gonna be out there in the crowd.
Exactly.
And I've said that countless times, and then like I still don't know how my band got to play at 20 Monroe Live.
Right.
You know, when we got to open for, it was a Pantera tribute band, which was funny because we had opened for one at the Music Factory. I'm like, what is it with Pantera tribute bands in
Like
our
Pantera
band?
loves you.
Like, yeah, like we must be a really great comparison or something. Like, I'll take it as a compliment.
Yeah.
But like, we got to do that, but that was like their talent team.
Mhm.
You know, they said they seen us or they looked us up and they liked
Word
our
of mouth
stuff.
carries, dude.
You know, and that was the album. The only music we had out was the album that I did, which I look back on now and I think it sucks, but because I know so much more now.
Yep.
But I'm like, you know, like they're out there. They must have seen us somewhere. Maybe
Yep.
somebody seen us at a show and seen how we were live performing, or you know, they seen our social media content and what we're posting and how often we're posting, and that's why all of that stuff matters. In
Yep.
order for you to get found or seen or heard, that's all anybody wants. They just want to be heard. I just want my music heard. I just want people to hear it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's all I ever want. I just want people to hear it. I don't want it to go and only see, 100 views.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, oh, man, I worked so hard for the song and it's got 100 views.
Yep. I agree with that.
They just want it to be heard. In order to be heard, you have to put in the other work in all the other areas than just the music creating.
I agree. Like, there's a guest, like GameStop. There's a guest that came in the store. Like, I try to be as real as possible with people, especially when I'm working. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not commissioned. You know what I mean? So, like,
you're not getting paid on every game you sell.
yeah, dude, I can't say on the record, I don't fucking care for social shit, because I do enough. It's my job to sell stuff. You know what I mean? But, like,
Right.
I don't care if you buy stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you don't
like the
have
biggest
to.
thing. I want to be able to make sure that I build the customer rapport so that you want to come back. You know what I mean? So like, even if I like sell you the fucking $1 bag today, you know what I mean? And you're like, yo, man, like that guy was really fucking cool. I want to go back and visit him. And then so like, they come back and they either have like more like very solid conversation with me, or they just like feel more encouraged to be able to buy stuff because I sincerely care about what they're purchasing. Like I don't
Right.
want to sell something that's not like
Right.
dude, if you came to my store, I'm not gonna be like, oh, you need to buy this and this and this and this and this, because like I'm not gonna shove shit down your throat. I'll be like, yo, what do you actually play? What do you actually care about? And I'll like match the items, right?
Right.
But like, so this dude, I haven't even asked his name. I feel dirty for it right now. But like, he came in the store like. It was like last week trying to sell me an Xbox, right? And then we were like talking about whatever. I was going through, testing and cleaning it, And then so I told him, I was like, he was like, what are you playing right now? I was like, my guitar. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not really playing video games right now.
Right.
I literally, and I tell people I can't hold the guitar and the controller at the same time. I can't, you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
if I could, I would. But, like,
Exactly.
It's not physically capable, dude.
your Guitar Hero controller with some games, man.
Right, dude, just play my guitar on my fucking feet while I'm rocking Hollow Knight in my hands. You know what I mean? That'd be dope. But like, I turned him on to my group, and then so like he listened to it like whenever I lived life, and he came back in today, and he was like, "Yo, man, listen to your band, I really like it." And like, he was saying like what songs he really liked, what songs he didn't really care for. And I appreciate all that criticism. Not like one of those like, "Oh, you don't like my band, fuck off." Like, dude, tell me what you didn't like. Tell me what you didn't like about it, so I can like take that criticism, kind of like build and kind of say like, yeah,
Right.
and make, not saying that I'm gonna like sway all of my music writing around like you, but
Yeah.
kind of like hearing something so I know what to improve upon for later,
Exactly.
And then so he was like, yeah, man, I'm gonna go, I'm gonna share this stuff on Facebook. I was like, don't bother sharing it on Facebook, dude. Like, I appreciate it. Thank you. What I'd prefer is you to actually go and talk to somebody that like truly gives a flying fuck about metal and say, yo, you should listen to this. And like, not saying like, yeah, speakers here, So like, yo, I'm gonna listen to this shit over the sound system with you inside of here, so we can both actually like vibe to it, conversation to actually fucking listen, so you can get like a valid like understanding of what it is, Because like, dude, I sincerely feel that like with Facebook itself, dude, like phones, media, technology, there's so much being shoved down our throats, and like one of the days on Facebook is like, I don't know, I'm pretty fucking active on Facebook, like I forget what made me like count it, but like I literally counted like how many ads popped up between like people post.
Oh,
I actually fucking counted that,
I was
dude.
doing that one day
Yeah.
too. What did you come up with?
5.
Five
every
posts
five
per ad.
posts per ad, dude.
I had about 4 to 5.
You know what I mean?
I'm serious.
So,
I'm
dog,
dead serious.
like,
I did that. I
and
did.
how many
I'm
of
like,
those?
why?
So, like, how long have you been on Facebook? Shot in the dark. Shot in the darkest of dark. You know what I mean? How long have you been on Facebook today?
2012.
No. I mean, like, today. Like, just, like, fucking around. Just
Oh,
boop, 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 boop.
today.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Like, would you say, like, an hour, 5 hours? I don't fucking know. I'm not here to judge,
3.
obviously. 3? So, out of
maybe
3. Out of
it's
those
a big
3,
podcast day, so 3.
out of those 3, how many ads do you sincerely remember you're, like, looking at? Like, what ad can you tell me that actually fucking stood out?
None. I can't think.
But
of
meanwhile,
one right
people
now.
are paying for fucking sponsored posts on Facebook for what? Dude, you're telling me right now
Right.
that you were online for 3 hours of Facebook, you know what I mean? But you don't remember jack dick of any sort of ads that people paid for to be able to be placed in front of your face.
Right.
Why would I give a flying fuck and like share music,
It's
please?
true.
Like it. Well, like, why the fuck would I care if anybody shared my shit on Facebook
It's
when
true.
someone's just gonna like and flick right past it, dude? You know what I mean? It's not gonna change shit. It's that true word of mouth. It's that true, actually, like the heartfelt conversation
is.
being built with it, dude. And a lot of people, yeah, I actually feel remarkably comfortable saying that a lot of people inside the music scene, they'll just like share shit.
The thing is with people sharing, as long I guess if you get a lot of people sharing, it's getting your name in people's news feeds. So they'll be like, they'll be scrolling through them, echo silence and then echo silence.
Which I
and
do
then,
agree with that.
And then the next day or 3 hours later, they see it again because somebody commented on their post. So then echo of silence is back on there again. That's why you want people to share your page. That's why I
don't disagree with that at all.
That's why.
Yeah, because like the heart that I'm more so like aiming at though is that if you and 5 other people truly give a fuck about my music and you actually like it, you will actually take the time to comment. How many memes do you look at that you don't bother liking, that you don't bother leaving a comment?
No, that's true.
You know
that's
what I
true.
mean?
That's
So-
why where it goes into engagement.
Yeah.
It's the engage, like when you're looking at your band page, right? Because you have a page and you can see, and you're like looking at your posts. Like, if you see a post that had 1,000 reach and like 75 engagement, you're like, fuck.
Yeah.
It reached 1,000 people. They seen it, but only 75 people clicked
Actually
on it.
cared, yeah.
They actually took their mouse or their finger and clicked on it.
Yeah.
I would rather have I want the engagement up. I don't want just the amount of people.
Yeah, that's why, like, again, like, I might be completely off kilter with this, but, like, I truly feel that if you take the time to actually build that rapport with this person, that person, other person, have, like, that, like, heartfelt, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like that'll increase your engagement more than, I'm going to just share this shit, I'm going to just share this, I'm going to just share this.
I mean, I could say the same thing about, like, I've been offered a few, like, Zoom call interviews and stuff. And I'm thinking about doing a few because I have a few where they're, like, way out of state. There's a guy here that sent me, I got a book up there. It's about a band and stuff in Ohio. And like he lives in North Carolina, and it'd be really cool to talk to him, but there's no way I'm gonna get him here.
Yeah, absolutely.
But for like people that here, the engagement I'm gonna get through a Zoom call is gonna be more of like an interview, and I don't want to interview people. I'd rather have somebody come in, sit down,
An actual conversation.
Yeah, we can sit across from each other. We can discuss whatever comes up, whatever we want to talk about, and it's right here and there. For a Zoom call, I feel like it's going to be more like I better have a list of questions.
Like a question. Yeah, I was going to say questionnaire.
Yeah, like, okay, well, let's go on to this question.
Right, and like, I feel like even like your voice fucking turns. Like even though you did it, you know what I mean? But like,
yeah, I did
even
it.
if you're actually doing that, yeah, because I have a work voice. You know what I mean? Like it's a case where I'm talking to you like this, but like I'm like, hey, welcome to thanks for calling today.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I have that customer service voice because it's what it is, dude.
Yeah.
It's not
a little
like
more. It's just a little more cheery than everything.
Yeah.
It's just because you just trying to make a good impression, make you want to come here. Trust me, I've worked customer service. It wasn't at GameStop, but I've worked at definitely like Wendy's, Tim Hortons. You're out there. I'm working front counter. Especially Tim Hortons, all these old fucks coming in all the day, and shit. It's like, oh, you gotta have shit.
You don't have my coffee.
Just the way they want it, the donut the way they want it, everything the way they fucking want it.
It needs to be perfect, dude.
Yeah, you dude. I love drive-through though. Like me and my buddy, we own drive-through. We had it down. Like there would be people coming through. We'd see them pull in. and we'd have their shit made before they even got there.
Yeah.
We'd be like, would you like to try one chocolate chip muffin and a medium coffee, 2 cream, 1 sugar? They'd be like, yeah.
That's exactly what I want. Yes, sir.
Hold on up. We got it ready for you.
Dude, I have a really fucked up story about that. Dude, so I used to work at Arby's for 5 years.
Arby's,
right? I was
bro.
working at Arby's, bro. It's motherfucking beef.
Damn,
Yeah.
bro.
There's so many sexual innuendos I've made over the years. It's ridiculous.
Oh, I can't
dude.
imagine packing that meat on those buns.
Bro,
bro. You ever had one like this?
Right, as soon as you open it slowly, it's like. You know what I'm talking about, dog.
Bro.
But like, so one of my buddy's dads, like, he lives in the neighborhood. He does come through, right? This is like years ago, like back when there was like the 5 for 5. And so like he came through. So we had the 5 for 5 for fucking ever, and then they took away the 5 for 5 because whatever. And then like my buddy's dad would always come through, like, hey, can I get a 5 for 5? I'm like, I don't have a 5 for 5, and he'd give me like playful shit over the situation, you know? So like, dude pulled through drive-through, right? And he's like, "Hey, can I get a 5 for 5?" I look, and like, dog, like the car make, model, fucking color, dude, is like what his So I told him over the last speaker, like, I don't have a fucking 5 for 5, dude. I can't help you, bro. You know, I was like, yo. And then like typically like the dad, because like we kind of like escalated it each time, because like the people inside like the back, like the back line, they don't know who that is. You know what I mean?
Right.
People because we all had headsets, you know.
Yeah.
And like nobody else in the store knew, but I'm like, fuck you, bitch. You know what I mean? And so like.
And they're all like.
And they're like, "What are you doing, Will? You can't say that type of stuff." And then so, like, I give him shit, whatever. I'm like, "All right, whatever, pull around." Because I was like getting his, just like you said, like, you know your regulars, you know what they want, you know what I mean? So you just kind of get their stuff right.
You get
so
ready.
me and him were like talking shit back and forth while I was like punching in like
What
his
he
dad's
wants.
order. Yeah. And then so car pulls around and it was not his dad.
Oh, you're like,
dad.
son of a.
Yeah, so he pulls up. He's like, "Fuck you!"
Oh,
you're
you
gonna be a dick.
motherfucker.
I'm like, "Yo, dude, like, what do you really want, though? I'm really sorry."
I'm sorry, man. I thought you were somebody else.
Yeah, but you can't just say that to someone and they're like, "Oh yeah, I get it." You know what I mean? Like they don't, you know, unless they work fast food like that. Because like, typically, at least for my store, it might be different for yours. Is that like like if this were like the building for itself, right? There's like the drive-through, like the order speaker, whatever the fuck you want to call on the board. And then so like I had like this little window cubby that like popped off on the side, so I can literally.
You can see them ordering.
I could see them ordering. If they're excited about something, I can see their arms fucking moving. You know?
Yeah.
So like I had that luxury, you know. But I'm like, yo, I thought you were someone else. They're like, what the fuck do you mean you thought I was someone else? You
I
know
can
who the fuck
kind
I
of
am.
see you, bro.
I am looking at you order, my guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Your fucking
yeah.
left headlight's out, bro. Like, you need to get that fixed. You know what I mean?
I can tell you, bro, what's wrong with your vehicle right now.
Right.
All right.
now.
Right fucking now.
Yeah, dude, it's
There's
funny
nothing
as
like
not.
there's nothing like working fast food, man. There's people that haven't worked fast food. I'm honestly like, bro, you missed out.
You need to.
You missed out.
Yeah.
You missed
Well,
out.
yeah, there's some people that are like too old, arguably, you know, but like,
Yeah.
I agree. Like, there is a lot of fun stuff, hijinks, just shenanigans. I feel safely said shenanigans that takes place just working fast food, you know?
Right.
Between like your relationships with the customers, between your relationships with like the other, how to say, employees that are working there. I feel especially like,
Right.
man, I have some like really close bonds because like one of my homegirls, dude, like I'm still fucking best friends with today that we worked at back at Arby's with, dude. So like,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
really cool stuff because
The
like
whole crew at Wendy's that I worked with, we all partied all the time.
yeah, dude.
Bro, we would shut that shit down. I'm gonna real talk you right here. We would shut that shit down. The lobby would go down. We would fucking Uncle Cork would come in. All right, so you already know this shit's lit when Uncle Cork is his name. All right,
Yeah, man.
Uncle Cork would come in with the 30 pack and throw it in the freezer because he come in at night for 3 hours to clean shit. So he'd
Yup.
fucking clean the grease traps and he'd clean everything. So he'd come in with the 30 pack, and then the fucking lobby would go down. Everybody would punch out and stick around and go hang out in the lobby and smoke and shit. Bro,
Absolutely.
it was lit, man. We would just sit out there and smoke. People would come to the drive-thru. I'd be like, dude, is somebody gonna see us? They'd be like, we've been doing this for years. I'm like, all right, okay, this is how it's gonna be, huh? Yeah, dude.
Man, that's team building if nothing else, dude. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? I don't want to
It
label
was
like that,
team
but it's
building.
effectively team building, dude.
It was effectively team building because then, you know, the next time I got put on sandwiches, I was like, I would get ridiculed, but I'd laugh it off because I knew they were fucking with me because I was
Yep.
never good at sandwich building. I was like, every day I walked in, it was Kyle, grill. I feel like I am the grill master.
Hell yeah,
At
dude.
Wendy's, because you would make all the burgers fresh. You know,
Yeah.
you didn't have them frozen, so you'd. I thought it was
Actually
important.
fucking cook
I
it,
thought it was an
yeah.
important job. I'm like, for a while there, I was like, man, they put me on grill because they must think I'm good at it. Because I cleaned the grill and shit. Nobody would clean the grill.
You
I'd
actually did what
clean
you
it.
needed to.
Yeah, all you had to do was pour a bunch of water on it. The shit would go, and you scrape it. All the shit would come right off.
It takes 15 seconds.
Yeah, look good as new. And I do that shit. So I'm like, maybe they like me. And then my buddy who'd work there for a while, he's like, no, man, they put you on grill. You can't do shit else.
No, it's like that, man. But like,
like,
yo,
well,
so like, I'll say some like
alright.
straight real shit, dude. Because I've been a store manager for like
Can't do shit
entirely
else.
too long, right? So
Damn.
between like this company, that company, whatever, I've just been managing shit, right? So like,
Right.
it's one of those. If you present the job to your like employee as if they're doing something like super like powerful, impactful,
Yes.
they're like,
Yeah.
fuck yeah,
You are
empoweration.
you are important.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
like they take that shit with pride, bro. And like it's really cool because like even like you with that situation, like where you're just fucking on that shit. You're like, fuck yeah, this is my girl. I'm gonna fucking on this shit.
I'm gonna own
this is me. You know what I mean?
America. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Like it's one of those big pieces, dude. Where I feel that like, yo, like even in a fucking band, like rapping back to music, it's even with a fucking musician group, dog. If you don't like make other people feel like good inside of the band, they're not gonna find fuck. You know what I mean?
Right.
That goes for employees, that goes for relationships, that goes for friendships, that goes for a
Yes.
fucking job. Anything. If you don't make the other people involved in whatever, fucking pick something, they're not gonna care. They're not gonna have that passion. They're gonna want to put in with it. You know,
Right.
Like even just saying like a fucking simple thank you. I appreciate what you did.
Appreciate.
You know what I mean? It's people like
Yes.
thanks. Like that's just fucking dismissive to me. People are like, oh thanks.
Oh,
Like, oh, fuck you, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
like, I
like-
actually put an effort with this. Don't give me no goddamn thanks, you know?
yeah,
Like,
like what the fuck, man?
yeah, dude. So, like, when
Yeah.
people are like, yo, thank you. I appreciate the effort. I appreciate what you did. I'm like, oh, fuck yeah. I
mean,
feel
I
like
did-
warm and fuzzy and stuff.
When I was a supervisor at Neutralite, for EnviroClean, we worked at Neutralite to clean their building,
Yeah.
and I was a building supervisor out there for Neutralite, and so I was in charge of all the cleaning and stuff. So if I had people out there that I knew were working, I knew they were doing their thing, and once I got a good solid crew, like I'd get them gift cards.
Yep.
Around like the holiday and stuff, like, you know, around now, I'd go out and I'd get them gift cards, and I'd pay for that shit out of my own pocket. I wasn't getting shit from EnviroClean to do it.
Mm-hmm.
There was a time when EnviroClean was letting us do it, and then they were like, no, we can't be doing gift cards anymore because there was some way about like getting around taxes.
Yeah, dude.
There was something like that, and then you had to stop doing gift cards, and I'm like, well, shit. I'm like, well, fuck it. I'm not going to stop. I'm going to take it out of my own. And it's not like I was
Like,
getting,
just take this and shut the fuck up.
you know, yeah.
You know?
And it's not like I was getting paid fat, you know. I think right now at my current rate, being a janitor is not much less than what I was getting being a supervisor. But
Right.
you know, I appreciated what they did because your workers are what makes you look good.
Dude, they make
You know,
your
people-
job easier,
and
harder,
they make your
harder,
job
or
easier-
or harder.
Yeah, easier or harder. If they're not doing their work, your job is harder. You're getting hounded on, or you're having to go out there and pick up all the slack and do it. And in your case, it's either stock or, you know, whatever. You got to get up and back inventory or whatever you have to do. In my case, I have to go out there and I have to scrub a lot of more shit because they haven't been cleaning it.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, I got to put in all this grunt work now to get it back to where it was.
Where
And
it
then-
should be.
or where it should be, and which was exactly. And you know, it's just one of those things. It's like you can't thank people enough almost for making your job easier when you are the boss.
Yep.
It's
I agree
like
with that complete.
it's like I don't know how much I can thank you for me coming in to the office every day knowing I don't have to worry about, you know, this being cleaned or this being stocked or this guy doing his job.
Mm-hmm.
That is unrepayable.
It's not even a thank you for doing your job. It's a thank you for doing your job well. Because there is a difference.
Right. There is a difference. There is
dude.
a huge difference in doing your job and doing your job well. That is for sure.
Like if you're doing bare fucking minimums like across the board, dude, like
bro. It's the worst. It's the worst. And my biggest relation is cleaning now, and doing your job at the minimum of cleaning is fucking terrible.
Yep.
You constantly have to go back and do shit. And I mean, like my boss right now, he's gonna retire this year. Which at first I was like, man, he's gonna now I gotta relearn a boss. You know?
Yeah.
Because when you have a boss, you have to learn your boss too. Mm-hmm. It's not just your boss learning you. You're learning your boss. Okay, what does your boss care most about? What is their pet peeves?
Right. What are the gray lines? What are the strict no zones? Like,
yeah. Where's the gray areas? Of where he's willing to give. Some bosses maybe like. You could go up to the day before and be like, early into vacation day tomorrow. And be like, okay. And then some bosses would be like, I need 20.
Fuck you.
I need 40 hours or whatever notice. And no, you cannot do that. Or, everybody has their pet peeves.
Yeah.
And you got to learn all those.
Sincere.
Well, then I'm like, he had one and it was about the walls in one of the bathrooms. And I'm like, I need this. I'm like, bro, I got a little scrub brush like this. I need a brush on a pole.
Like an actual
big brush, get me what I need. So he finally gets me what I need, and I do it, and I do the whole walls, and I got it looking good. And I'm like, this is what I wanted to do this whole time,
but now didn't have the tools.
Didn't have the tools. So he's got me the tools, and he's like, yeah, it looks good. And then it was like 2 weeks later, he brings me in. He's like, he pulls the trash can back. He's like, just make sure when you clean the bathrooms, you clean it behind the trash can too. And there was a little line where the trash can was, a little tiny dirt line. I'm like, bro, that happens after like 3 days from sweeping. I sweep everything towards that trash can because that's where I'm going to dump the trash. So if I didn't move the trash for like, a couple days, which happens because it's just the trash, there ain't nothing going back there. It ain't fucking dirty. It's just a little dust. Yeah. I'm like, there's nothing, like I'm never going to satisfy you completely.
Yeah.
With cleaning. At least.
And like those suck. Those suck.
So then I'm like, man, maybe a new boss might not be so bad.
Dude, for real, I've had bosses like that, man. I know that I had to crack down on like one of my like oldest assistant managers about that shit, dude. So like I went to the store, GameStop, and
doesn't that suck when you have to crack down on somebody?
I mean, so like transparently, when I first had to, because I'm pretty kind-hearted dude unless you do something that fucks up. Then I'll straight whoop your ass if I have to. Right. However, but like, especially inside the workplace, I was like, man, I don't know how I'm gonna like write people up. I don't know how I'm gonna fire people. But like after I fired the first couple, I was like, all right,
I can do this
all day, all fucking day.
Who's the next person I gotta fire?
Dude, for real, because like there's a situation, and like, bro, I still feel bad about it to this day. If she hears this shit, dude, know that I felt like shit for having to do this. So like, girl. Company X, not GameStop, sincerely not GameStop, but like Company X, she was always like coming in, like talking her like straight personal life. Dude, like, so like it's cool. Like, let's say if we work together, you know what I mean? Like, if I'm like, yo, dude, like, what's going on with the music stuff? What's going on with the house? You're like, oh, well, the house is cool. Even though her house is literally fucking burning down, you're like, oh yeah, everything's cool. You know what I mean? But like,
everything's burning down, but everything's cool.
But she would put all of it out there, So like, it's a case where. I don't know, she's just going through a lot. But like the day that me and my DL, she was like, yo, we have to like go like write the chick up, we have to fire, blah, blah, blah. More not we, but you as a store manager. So I was like, cool. So like
write up and fire same time.
Done.
It's like, yep.
Dude,
done.
So like the part that I felt like the absolute worst with is that she came into work, like her dude most recently laid hands on her. So she was like noticeably like fucking bruised. And then she, like, most recently, like, in the past couple days, like, oh, I'm pregnant with this baby.
Oh.
And then so when she came in there, she's like, yo, laid hands on me, blah, 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 blah. I need to figure out another place to live.
No.
And, like, all this whole piece. So I was like,
no. And I have to fire
and I have
you.
to. And it wasn't even, like, one of those, like, oh, yeah, I can dismiss this. Like, the paperwork was already fucking done. You know what I mean? Like,
my paperwork's
bro,
done.
It's done, dude. So, like, I can't not.
You can't punch in right now.
You can't punch in, dude. Try. You know what I mean? You like fucking
this will
try.
tell you how much this is above
Your
me
password is not reset. Like you can't change your password and fix this, dude. Like this shit's fucking gone.
You do not collect 200. You do not pass go.
Dog, dude. So I'm sitting there at go, like spinning my keys, like dude. And then since I had to like let her go and like dance, dude, that was the only time in my life I've ever completed a game of Minesweeper. Dude,
Right. No
that was
shit.
the only game in my life that I completed on Minesweeper,
Holy
dude. So like
shit.
after doing that, bro, like I don't want to say it like that. I don't give a fuck if I have to fire somebody else, dude. Like, I'll be damned. I'll be surprised if there'll be another situation where that's gonna be more difficult than me. I'm empathetic to begin with, bro. So it wasn't even like one of those like, oh, fuck this bitch, sucks to suck, and it was like one of those like, I know how much this is gonna set you back, dude, and
like
I don't, but I literally have to. Like it's already done, you know. So after that, I'm like, whatever. I don't care about firing people. I mean, like it's not gonna be nearly as difficult. There's no way, you know. So.
And most people do it to themselves. Like I had to get rid of one guy, but it was in this, again, it's in a place where they're making food, and this guy. First of all, I always had questions about him. I didn't know like how with it he was. He was one of those people that just like they kind of look like they're drunk all the time.
I know what you mean.
You know what I mean.
Yeah.
Maybe they're not drunk, but they just kind of look like it, and
Yep.
they kind of seem like it. And that was kind of the case with this guy. And I'm like, man, I just don't know about this guy. And then one day, like the fucker fucked up. He like cut himself. And when you cut yourself in those kind of places, you have to stay in one spot.
Immediately,
you just stay in there and somebody else gets you help. And this fucker walked all over. So literally everybody had to go behind him to clean up everything that where he walked, they had to follow him.
Vicinity,
As soon as he walked away, that person had to follow him to figure out where they were walking.
And they're not making the food, doing this. They're not
making the shit. And it was like powdered stuff. It was like powdered drinks and stuff like that. And this fucker, like, so, I mean, so they had to follow him because they had to find where he's walking. And like you just made the situation from a cut and let me get you a bandage and clean it to the whole fucking plant is like, what the fuck's going on?
Yeah.
You're fired.
Yep.
Easy.
Point blank.
You fucked up. Sorry, dude, I can't save you here. You weren't caught in my fucking office sitting on your ass because that was caught before.
Left my office and went to the next guy, bro. Dude,
like that's out of my office now.
Yeah,
because I gotten complaints about that too. Well, they were just like sitting in my office because you could go in, it wasn't locked. You could go in and be by my computer, and like they would just be like sitting in there and shit, like just not doing anything.
Yeah.
So that was the first complaint. And I would come in. So then I started coming in early. My shift was scheduled for 7 o'clock. So I started coming in at 5.
Right.
And those motherfuckers didn't know what to do. Because the first day I came in at 5,
where
were they? They were in my fucking office area. It was like an open air cubicle area, but there was a door because it was in the plant. So you would have to open the door. You'd go in. And they were in there. They fucking got up so fast. They're like, they fucking got up, they grabbed the cart, and they were like, yep. And then they left and started cleaning or doing whatever.
Well, they're
I'm like, okay, this is what's going on then. This is what's going on.
Pure fact, dude.
So these fuckers, they would just fucking hang out in there. And so then I started coming in early, and then that incident happened. So I just kept, when I got rid of him, so I just kept coming in early. Talked to the contact. They're like, yeah, you can work 5 to 1 from now on. I like what you're doing.
You're like, bet.
Like, bet, dude. I love getting out. And that's what I work now. I work 5 to 1. So, I get like my whole day.
The entire day, dude. That's one thing
1
that
p.m. You're getting out.
I miss about working at FedEx. 2 days work at FedEx. And
Did
that's
you?
one thing I
So you
miss
did
working
work
at
at-
FedEx, bro, dude. Like, yo. So like,
I worked for DHL before.
yeah, you know what I mean? Like shipping in general, bro. It's fucking rough because I was working for FedEx Freight.
Did you
specifically.
drive?
No.
Oh,
they
you
wanted
didn't
me to
drive. I was a driver.
They wanted me to drive real fucking bad,
See, I was a
dude. But I was
driver.
like, I can't. You know, because like their whole push pull. So like I was hired in at like 1625 or some shit, right? It was like somewhere in the ballpark of 1625. And
Oh,
again,
really?
I was driving a fucking forklift, dude. Like my job was to drive a forklift and like unload and load trailers for 30 hours, 35 hours a week, something like that. Got paid bi-weekly, got benefits. If I wanted to like cash in my vacation as like paychecks, I could. Again, this was years.
You probably
ago.
ended up
Shit may
getting
have
more
changed.
than 30 or 35 hours, right?
Every time. Every fucking time. Dude. You know what I
30,
mean?
35 hours. Here's 50.
Dude, yeah,
Here's
bro.
50.
Especially during winters, dude. Like,
Yeah.
yo, so like segueing is that like there's was it 12 years ago? Fucking it was long enough ago. But like I was working there, dude. It's like one of like our super heavy winters. Like back when we had heavy winters.
Yeah, right. Isn't that weird?
Yeah,
Isn't that
dude.
weird?
It's fucking dumb.
I mean, I know it fucking is. I remember there was one recently where we got dumped on. We got really dumped on. Maybe it was a year or 2 years ago. I can't remember which
You're
one.
talking about like 2 or 3 years ago, dude. So if we're talking about the same one, I was still over in Detroit, and bro, like it snowed heavy over in Detroit, but like everything fucking froze over too.
No, it wasn't longer than 3 years. Maybe it was 2018.
Time is loose right now, bro. Dude.
I'm thinking
like,
2018.
the fucking Sonic movie came out this year, dog.
What?
like time for everybody is fucked.
Sonic movie came out this year?
This year.
Whoa, bro. No shit. Did it have?
Like-
it didn't have a theatrical release then, huh? Or
No,
did
it absolutely did. 'Cause
What?
It was before lockdown, dude.
Oh my god.
But
Jim
that's why I just
Carrey.
want to like make sure to like place this into like a ball of focus. Like, bro, 2020 has been
Yeah, dude. It is
fucked
crazy.
dude, the
It is
entire time.
crazy. And people
Like,
just
yo.
keep thinking 2021 is gonna be better.
No, dude, like, we
live, laugh,
literally-
love.
It's literally like metaphorically, like if I were to like
not.
take a sword, bro, like Sephiroth shit, and like stab you in the chest and just all the
Yeah,
way to the
you
hilt.
bitch.
Like I still have to take it out, and you still have to fucking heal. You know what I mean? So like,
Right.
granted, like maybe the heart still be. I don't fucking know. Like at this point, it's hard to be able to predict. Like it's impossible to predict. No, but like I still have to take the sword out. You still have to heal from the clear puncture that I placed in your chest. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's not gonna be one of those like. Oh, like December 31st. January 1st. It's not going to be a night and day switch that a lot of people like want it to be, which I appreciate the optimism. Sincerely, thank you for feeling that way. Like, thank you. Like,
Yeah,
there needs to be
thankful
more
for some
optimism, dude. There needs
exactly.
to be more. But like, let's be realistic. It's not going to happen. So I just want to make sure that everybody's grounded and they're not going to like throw a fucking
You know what's
bitch
gonna be
fit.
weird about that? You said December 31st is. See, I'm one of those fucking fools that will put like NBC on for the
Ball drop.
the ball drop. I'll
Yeah.
put it on the background.
I'll watch that shit.
Dude, there ain't gonna be nobody there, bro.
Yo, I didn't
Yo.
think about that. I didn't think about that at all. I
didn't
like
think about
there's no
that?
reason.
There's gonna be-
I'm
wait,
drowning in GameStop shit, bro. Like, I have no time to think.
Dude, what?
Ball drop, dude.
when the fuck? I mean, we just dated this podcast as fuck because it's not gonna be out before the ball trap. But I mean, like, what the fuck? Like, what's Carson Daly gonna do? Like,
He's like, yeah, dude, the fucking the snow's falling and the snow fields are fucking nice, dude. Fresh powder looks beautiful tonight.
beautiful,
You
beautiful.
know? And,
No,
then-
you know, there's no foot tracks out there. It just
and
looks
he'll be
great.
the soul. 10, 9.
No,
Hey.
they'll just say we COVID tested everybody here and everybody's clean.
Right, okay, so the fucking 6 people?
Yeah,
My bad.
yeah. Like, well, that's what SNL does or something. That's why they have audience. Well, they have audience members in masks and stuff too.
Yeah, way valid. Yeah, super valid. It makes me wonder. I didn't even conceive that, bro.
You didn't even conceive that. Yeah,
Didn't
because there's
even
gonna be
conceive
nobody
that.
out there. There's gonna be nobody arm in arm. There's gonna be
Yeah,
nobody
man. Like the fucking.
kissing.
I was gonna say the fucking New Year's
The
kiss,
New Year's
bro.
kiss.
Like,
There's gonna be none of that. Nobody's gonna be like, that's fine because I wasn't gonna stay up for this year because we're gonna go on an urbex exploration New Year's Day.
Like, yeah, dude.
I'm like, we went on Black Friday too, and I'm like, what better day, dude? Like everybody's preoccupied. Like nobody's gonna be
Everybody is
watching
busy.
out for us. You know what's funny? You said you work in a mall.
Yeah.
We went to an abandoned mall.
I'm sure that looked beautiful.
Wasn't
dude.
that? Isn't that fucking crazy? Think about your mall and it's just abandoned, nobody there.
I think about like, yo, it's like it's a case where I have.
Of course, right
that-
now it's Is it kind of dead, or is
No.
it still like just fucking crowds?
So it's not busy like malls usually are, but there's still a lot of fucking people.
like Santa's not there, right?
Santa's there.
Is he really? Fucking, you can still go see Santa?
You can still sit on his lap.
Well, shit.
I don't know how that shit works, dude.
I don't either. That's why I'm like, that's why I asked. Like, there was a Santa. Okay, of course, there's not anymore, but, you know, I was thinking that too. I'm like, man, my daughters, because my daughters are, well, one's going to be 4 in March, and then the other's like 1.5. So I'm like, shit, let me go see Santa this year.
He's in the fucking mall.
Motherfuckers in the mall wearing a mask,
still in the
bro.
fucking mall. I didn't even look at him, dude. Like, I didn't even want. Yeah, because like after so long of like
Santa don't need to wear a mask.
Dude, like I was just like holiday stuff inside of like, dude. I was telling one of my buddies, I like play like online games, whatever, on Discord, and like I was telling one of my buddies like a couple days ago, I was like, dude, I don't give a flying fuck about Christmas, and I've been like over Christmas for years. Like, granted, I've been working like retail for over 10 years. You know what I mean? So like, I am sure that just that has
You've
kind
been
of
working
like
in like a mall for like 10 years, too?
Yeah, bro. Between GameStop and fucking Tivana, like
you
even
said
like
you were at a mall over in Detroit too.
yeah,
right?
yep. Yeah, between the fucking Dearborn Mall, the 12 Oaks Mall, like those are 2 of the malls I worked in over there, bro. Like it's a case where like
What mall do you work at over here?
Woodland.
Woodland Mall.
Shit, man. Dude, yeah. So like I said, like there's I just
See,
I don't
so
even
many
care.
kinds of people, bro.
I appreciate how diverse that Woodland is. I've told my employees this is that I feel like Woodland is the most Detroit-ish mall that I've worked in since I left Detroit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just like the people and like feel weird. Sorry about that. It's like saying this is that how to say is that like there's certain stores in general that you can work at and you can talk to people a certain way without them like getting mad. You know what I mean? I feel like I can speak to the customers.
Getting attitudey, like
Yeah, like yo, dude. Like, let's say if you're a disgruntled customer and you come to my store and you're yelling at me a certain way, I feel I can speak to you in a more like Detroit tongue than I can with like Grand Rapids people over here in general. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because like there's a certain way to tell like a customer to shut the fuck up. This is what I can do. Just being honest. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like being like black and white with it. There's a certain tongue that you can use in Detroit. Shut the fuck up. This is the best I can do. I sincerely can't do more than this. And there's a different tongue that you can use for that over here. Like, I grew up over here. I was raised over there. Like, however, you know what I mean? But, like, when I came back over here, like, night and day difference. I made sure to walk straight inside that Grand Rapids. Like, I'm sorry, there's nothing I can help you with. Like, this store doesn't have it. If I could help you, I truly would. And kind of, like, do that whole apologetic.
So when did you move over there?
2012.
2012. So how old were you?
22.
So you were 22 when you moved to the east side.
Well, technically, I was 21
21.
because my birthday's in August. I moved out there in May. It was like May 15th or something.
Okay, so you were a little bit later. So you grew up until then you moved over there. Then you started learning, like, whoa, this is kind of like, this is life. This is how it really is. This is the
I came back at
shield I
like
had.
28.
Come back at 28, like, all right, this place seems fake as fuck.
Dog, for real.
Oh,
Like,
at
it's
first,
been-
that's how you feel at first. You're like, are you putting
I
up
can't
an
even
act?
tell you. Like, there's
Or
a
am I
case
putting up
where
an act?
There's some people that like may or may not hear this podcast that when they hear me say this, they're like, "Yo, what the fuck, Will?" But like, when I moved back at 28, I didn't tell people I was back here. I didn't tell any. There's a group like 7 that like kept like close contact with me when I was like traveling ever. You know what I mean? But like past, I didn't fucking tell anybody. You know what I mean? I've been back. I am in Grand Rapids. Like, there's a lot of people that today. There's people today that don't know that I'm still back here, bro. Like, I'm just kind of like doing my own thing, keeping my own life, you know? Because like what I feel, and like I've had this conversation recently, which was really weird, like in the past week, is that if you grow up in your hometown and you keep around the same company, I mean, like keep around your parents super fucking tight, like not super tight, but like tight enough, and like keep around like your certain friends. Regulars, you know what I mean?
Right. Your circle.
They almost keep you, in my opinion, they almost keep you in like a personality, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if you get mad at something stupid and like they're like, yo man, what the fuck, man, you'd never get mad about this. Well, why you being a bitch? You know what I mean? Like they're gonna judge you and talk to you accordingly, so you almost feel like you need to stay inside of this like You know what I mean?
Yeah. This.
Meanwhile, if you leave your fucking hometown, and again, like this might not apply to everybody, however,
No, I
like
know
if
what
you
you're talking
leave
about.
your hometown, bro, you can be who the fuck you want to be. Dude. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So it's not like one of
Yeah.
those like, yo, this person can't talk to me that way. Fuck you. Eat a dick and die. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
saying, like
yeah.
some stuff like that, you know? But like you can
That's how it
personify
felt.
yourself and like be who you need to be,
It
who you're
is.
supposed to be, bro. Because like, and that's a big reason why I never told people that I came back to the city. Because I'm like, yo, if I tell this person, that person, I'm fucking, if it touches Facebook, you know what I mean? And then there's gonna be a whole lot of people, yo, man, hit me up, Sean. Da, 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 da. Like, by the way, a lot of like retro people know me as Sean. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, just straight up, there's a disconnect between Will and Sean. You know?
Okay.
But like, and that
All
it's
right.
so trippy when like the two people like meet each other because like the old people still call me Sean, the new people consistently call me Will, and they communicate to each other with different names, but they're both talking about me. And like my ear hits the same for both of them. You know what I mean? But
I
like,
didn't know shit about Sean. All I know is Will.
I'm saying, dude, like you
I'm
were a
saying.
part of the fucking elite, dude, the alumni. Nothing wrong with it, you know what I mean? But like,
Right. No.
it's just like dates like what part of my life that you were like
Right.
truly from, you know. But with being
But
said,
that's what it does though. When you
Yeah.
move out of your. I always say you don't really know who you truly are until you like move away from your hometown.
I agree. Sincerely, dude. My
As soon
life,
as you move away from your
my
hometown,
entity.
you're like
yes.
holy shit, this is who I can be.
Yep. Yeah, because it was
And then
like
you can move back like you did and I did. Like
And
you
just
said, you
keep it.
moved back over here. I lived over here, moved away, came back, brought what I learned back here, and was like, okay, this is how I'm going to do this.
old game, new rules. Let's go.
Yes.
And you just like drop this shit on the table.
And the only reason why I came back was because there's way more work over on the side of the state. Than
Yeah.
there is over there.
you consider
Joe motherfucker sitting over there like, no, I'm gonna sit
Considerably.
here, I'm gonna represent, and I'm like, you know,
room
like
for growth.
I'm like, bro,
It's
what are you
relevant.
representing, bro? Your minimum wage bullshit? Because there ain't shit around there. Like Bay City, there's like one factory.
Yeah, the same
You know?
5 people that watch you walk to work daily. You know what I mean? I'm like,
It's like, dude,
for the
you-
real ones.
I'm like, bro, you can come up here. There's so many. There was a couple people too. You know, like I remember talking to him. Like, dude, I'll let you stay with me if you want to come here.
Yeah.
And like, I'm telling you, bro, you'll only be in my place for like 2 to 3 months, and you'll have your own place.
It will find itself. It'll say, this is where you live now.
Right.
You know what I
Seriously,
mean?
like you
And
can
then,
find
like
it.
you literally.
I mean, it's more expensive to live over here, but the jobs are paying more,
Yep.
and there's more of them.
Yeah, I
on
feel
this side
like
of
you
the
have
state.
to just know what you're looking for though, because like, I sincerely feel that if I didn't move when I did for as long as I did, I would be obviously a remarkably different person, but I wouldn't be hungry for the opportunity that I'm hungry for.
Right.
Because like what I feel is that I left when I was 21. You know what I mean? Like my birthday's in August, so August, September, October, November, December, January,
Do you
May.
mind if I
Go for it.
Okay.
So like,
I always ask.
no, dude, I would have brought mine instead. Dude, not
Did
a
you
big
want
deal.
one?
I don't like menthol.
Oh,
Not a
you
big deal.
don't?
Yeah, that's sincerely not a big deal.
We can take a
However,
break.
yeah, I'm sure. I'm down.
Take a break. You want to grab yours or no?
I don't care enough to.
Okay. All right. Keep going.
Yeah,
Keep going.
But like,
Keep going.
is that with how to say East Side versus West Side, digressing, lessons learned, training, mindset, life lessons, bringing what like who you are.
Yeah. To bring
So
you
if
up.
I didn't move like when I did, like bro, so I turned 21, 8 months. I don't know what I counted because sidetracked or whatever, but like 8 months, you know, when I was 21. So I didn't get injected into the bar scene over here. I don't know what the fucking bar scene is. This is my hometown. I don't like to this day. I have an idea, but I'm sure I know that there's a lot of places within like the bar scene in general that I have no idea about, dude. I wasn't there for.
Right.
Like if I would have stayed here for the 9 years that I was gone for, I would know a lot more of the fucking bar scene around here. You know what I mean?
Right,
But,
exactly,
In that same
exactly.
case, dude, like it's a case where like yes, like my homegirl Jamie, I met her over in 12 Oaks, and then like I moved over here. Then on Instagram, I saw that she moved over here, and I was like, "Yo, let's chill." So we ended up like kicking it for a while, right? So she was like asking me, this is like embarrassing, you know, is that she was asking me like, "Hey, what bar is really good? Is this bar really good? Is that bar really good?" I'm like, "I don't fucking know. I've never been there." You know what I mean?
Right.
So like,
No, it's true.
it is a case where like if I didn't go like for me personally, there's a couple like certain bars that I go to like not religiously, but like pick a Friday through Saturday, you will find my ass, you know what I mean, inside of one of these rooms.
Right.
You know what I mean? So because I didn't develop that habit, I didn't have that like sense of belonging. So I didn't feel like I was losing anything when I was like, fuck you guys, I'm leaving. And like when I left out to the other side of the state, you know what I mean? I didn't have that like to hold me in. You know what I mean? Like I've had like a really weird push pull with like my personal like sense of family. But like my friends been super tight, but a lot of my friends have either like moved really far away or lost their lives when I was really fucking young. So it's a case where like I don't have a lot of my homies that I want to talk. Like I truly desire to speak to you right now, but like I don't have them to speak to. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I have the other people, which are family, they're still received as well. Like I'm sure you have a cousin that like you fuck with, you're really fucking cool, but you don't fucking talk. You mean like you see that flavor, it's like, yo, dog, like I would do some, we can fucking
like
road trip, go here,
reunion,
you're like, yo, let's chill. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everybody has that, and like I felt like I was like hanging with like the cousins of like my friend group when I was growing up, because like they're cool, they're people I really fuck with. There's nothing wrong with this, but it's not my brother.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like,
right.
I feel that I grew because I have like the weird sense of family, the weird sense of friendship at that degree of my life, especially, and like no relationships. I was like, my life is in God's hands, metaphorically.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I kind of like let it fucking roll, dude. And like, yo, like there's some really beautiful times. There are some terrible times, but like that reset button, that growth, the mindset, dude. Like if you leave your hometown for however long, you know what I mean, as long as you're supposed to, if you decide that you come back, keep that mentality, dude, because like you don't realize, and you won't realize how long you're living by that mentality. You know what I mean? Like you might have fucking clicked into your life, and 2 years in, you might have like been acting at your truest fucking self. Right then, dude, if you move back and like change parts of yourself because you're supposed to act a certain way, you're not gonna be happy. You're gonna be depressed, and shit will just go south. And it's gonna, in my opinion, like this downward spiral, bro. But if you keep that same energy, this is my pace, this is who I am, dude. If you can't keep up, don't fuck with me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, it's
keep
true.
going, dude.
It's true.
It's a difference. It matters, bro.
It's true. It's just that. It's just even just taking that leap of like, I'm gonna leave my hometown. I'm gonna leave everything I know.
And there's a lot of people holding them bags tight.
It's holding just that habit, just that. I know my gas station. I know my drugstore. I know my my grocery store. I know my way to work. I know my
the fast food person knows my order.
Yeah, they know my order exactly.
Dude,
they know
like,
Tim
literally.
Hortons. They know my order. You know, they know what coffee I get. You know, I can't just leave that. You know, I mean, if they know your order though, you've probably been around a while. You're probably sticking roots, but
you feel me, dude.
But
like
you know,
it's gonna be that much harder.
It's that much harder to leave. But it's when you take that leap and you're just like, okay, I can see a better thing over here, but you know, I have all this comfort. It's just a comfort. It's just how much comfort level you can have, and you got to break out of that comfort zone to be able to accomplish what you want to accomplish sometimes.
It's not even what you want, it's what you need. Like there's a
need.
lot of times
Yeah,
that like life
honestly,
like present shit like, yo, by the way, dude, you have to hurdle this remarkably tragic event. You'll be better afterwards though. It's gonna fucking suck.
Yeah.
But like you'll be great after like you fucking heal from it, you know? Like there's a lot of people, like one of the buddies I play video games with on a daily fucking basis with, dude, like he's really down on himself like so frequently. He's a really smart dude. He's really fucking bright. Like he has so much potential. He doesn't fucking know it because like the entire time he's like, man, fuck this dude. Like, life's hard, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Kind of like feeling like super down, dude. Like a lot of people have that, dude. Like don't feel bad if you do, obviously. But I just want to make sure that it's like
don't feel bad about it. But it's like,
is that like, dude, like you may have been dealt a dick fucking like hand of cards, but you can still play the game.
you can still
You
play
know what I mean? Like just because like I can't tell you like I play cards, I play poker enough. You know what I mean? But like there's so many times where I'm like, I'm not fucking winning this shit, and I end up sweeping the floor. My hand of cards are shit, and I still want
yeah, it's like how many times have you been down to like this little stack of chips and you're like, fuck, I hope this river card comes through, you know? Because that's what I play is Texas Hold'em when I would play it. And it's like, you know, that river card, okay, I just doubled my pot. All right. And you just
I'm
you
glad
just
I
keep
stuck
going.
through.
You just keep going.
I'm glad I stuck there. Because if you would have like, well, no, I can't.
And like you said about like even the mindset that you can be in, and sometimes, you know, it's just the area that you're in. Sometimes it can be too. Like my wife, she really, we struggled with this, sickness she was having. She was diagnosed with like cyclic vomiting syndrome, which is like something that's not really,
It's not
heard
common.
of.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's not common. Not really people know about it, but she was just like, she would vomit and like, she was having like these migraines in her stomach, and it would go on forever. Nobody was really knowing what was going on for a while before this was diagnosed. And I was ended up being diagnosed by a neurologist.
Right.
Right. And I'm like, why are you going to a neurologist? Like, that's like brain.
Like, how do you
right?
know about that?
Isn't that brain? Like
Yeah,
what is
absolutely.
that? So then she figured out, well, you must be having, instead of a migraine here, you must be having a migraine here. And so then we got it, kind of figured out. And things were good, but it was still there. And then once we.
It was a hurdle.
Once
nothing else.
But once we kind of moved away from there, I'm like, I'm talking to her. I'm like, there's scars in like every area of this town where you've like had a bout with this. You've been out of the car over here and you're puking. You've been out of the car here. There's spots all around here that remind you of that. We moved to an area. We've moved here ever since we've moved here. It's been basically a non-issue. When we lived over there, she had to work second shift because she would wake up in the mornings and just vomit and just be bad, and like she have to call in, so she had to work like a second shift job in order to to kind of get over that bout. And we moved here, and now she's on first shift, and she worked second shift here for a little while too because we didn't know. We didn't know how she's worked second shift.
You didn't know what to expect.
So and basically been like a non-issue, and I'm like, I feel like a part of that is just getting out of that area where you've had those experiences, and it can go the same for somebody that's just had a rough life, maybe maybe
bro,
they've had a lot of people that died around them, and they're like, my homie died here on this corner, and my other homie died here, and my mom died here, and people that grow up in that kind of a style too, just
seeing it, dude. Like, you have to, like, because like, not getting into details, but like, there is a lot of remarkably emotional like situations that took place in succession over a 3-month period where I was like, I'm out. Dude, I fucking quit this game. I don't like the rules anymore. I don't like the gameplay. I'm not winning. You can have Grand Rapids.
Yeah.
Because like I met like a couple, and like the husband of the two, like they were like getting like a district manager job at fucking Metro PCS over in Detroit, And then they're like, "Yo, Flash," because like we all call each other nicknames. So like he was like, "Yo, Flash, you heard that you're like you need to get out of the city and that you sincerely feel like you need to. Like, I'm gonna go work in Livonia as like a district leader. So like, if you want to come with, dude, you can live with us." I'm like, I kind of want to know where Livonia is, but I also don't give a fuck, dude. Like,
I just want out of here.
Fucking send it, dude. So like, moved in with these guys that I was like homies with. Like we knew each other. We didn't know each other, but we knew each other.
We knew each other. You're right.
So like moved out and like took a fucking gamble, bro. You know what I mean on that. And again, like it came out, and there's years, like out of the 10 years, 9 years, 10 years I was gone for, like there was probably a solid 4 that were dog shit, bro. Like I'm not gonna like go like, oh, moved to Detroit's the greatest thing, fucking lollipops and gun drops, clicking my heels and shit. It's literally
you're jumping up.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, yeah. And then like fucking freeze frames, like move out of your state.
Like, right.
Like there was, again, like out of the 10 years, like a probably consistent 4 years of consistent dog shit that I ate spoonful, dude, on a regular, But I was like, there has to be something else, dude, because like I like anime a whole lot. So like it's a case where with Full Metal Alchemist, dude, like equivalent exchange. It's the thing. If you're paying something, whether it be a monetary value, your fucking attention, you know what I mean, with anything, like you're paying something, you're contributing something, you will get something in return.
Right.
I don't know what it will be. You know what I mean? Like you might look in the corner so much that a fucking fan comes. I don't fucking know, but like you did something and there's another cause that can't. You know what I mean? Yeah. But like I feel that I paid just the utter amount of just dog shit. I was living over on like the other side, where I came back in a more like balance than I ever would have been, bro. Like.
Right.
Yeah, it's a case where like it was really bad. I felt like giving up for a while because I absolutely suffered with depression. But like something, dude, I really feel like it was my guitar. But like something like kept like that consistent. It's okay. This is home.
Yeah, because
You know what I
you
mean?
weren't like going to like therapy and,
Nope.
and all that. No.
No,
You know,
dude.
you
Like I went
just,
to
like,
therapy once and I was mad because like my mom tricked me. But like,
No, I
in
did
that
too.
one
My
time,
mom,
bro.
my mom did the same thing to us.
Yo, I was
Yeah.
more rubbed wrong than I was tricked than if she would be like, yo, we're taking a fucking therapy because XYZ. You know what I mean? Like, I'm
Yeah.
not mad at her for it. I'm not here to judge. You know what I mean? I don't fucking care. Like, I'm
Yeah.
well over it. But like, I would have received the situation a lot more if she's like, yo, dude, like, I see, because like, I've had depression like my whole fucking life. You know,
Yeah.
it's nothing new.
Yeah.
But like, she recognized that. So she sent me to therapy with that. But I assume she felt that she couldn't like tell me what she saw.
Yeah.
But I know that we've like historically had like a weird enough relationship. Like we're cool, but like, you know what I mean? Like it's cool, but it's weird.
Yeah.
But like, with all said though, is that like I appreciate and I do love the fact that she cared about me enough to like do that.
To like take that
thank
step.
you. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I
no,
recognize
right.
I'm not like, what the fuck, bitch? Like, I
No,
get it, you
yeah,
know?
you get it. Yeah.
But like, if you would have just told me that was going on, I'm
Right.
like, okay, I would have like been prepared because like when the therapist started asking me certain questions, like my mind is already like racing and studying. Like, where are you going with this? Like, what's the fucking
what do
end?
you...
Bro, dude, like I think I'm an overactive imaginator. Like I'm like my mind's consistently thinking. Even though we've had this conversation here, I've had this completely separate
Right.
inside of my imagination. Like full words, see people think in words and pulses.
Right.
I think in words, I hear this and hear this.
Right,
But, like,
right.
with being said though, is that like I was like, where is this going? I see where this is going. Why am I here? That's fucked up that she would say that. And I was kind of like internally like fuming, dude. Like while on the outside, I'm like, yeah, no, this is cool. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
But like,
You
it's
just kinda,
crazy
like,
to have.
you start to think. You're like, it's just just inside your mind, you're like, what the fuck's going on? Where's this going? Where's this
Yeah,
going? Yeah, that's
dude.
cool. Yeah,
It's
just
dropping me
what
off
the
in a
fuck is going on?
fucking strange room with a strange man
Yeah.
with a notepad asking
The
me questions about
notepad.
you.
You got these little fucking like weird trinkets everywhere. Like
I'm
something
told
for you,
not
like,
to talk to strangers, and this man's
Yeah.
pretty strange.
Nowadays,
You know?
nowadays there'd be like an iPad in there or something. Be like, oh,
Yeah,
cool.
dude.
You'd start like, and then they'd be like, so, you're like, what the fuck's going on?
Yeah,
here?
bro. Like it's
Where's my mom?
huge, and I feel like especially if you mislead your child into like that type of situation, dude, like you need to consider that that's what's going on through their head instead of like
Yeah.
healing.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I know, and it's like I struggle with that. With the idea, like, you know, so as you say, like therapy and stuff, and it's like, you know, I've never had. I mean, there was like that one time where my mom kind of tricked us into it, and we didn't really go back.
Neither have
But
I.
you know, but other than that, it's been like, you know, I know there's been times in my life where I was depressed. I know I can kind of recognize it now. After, you know, it's
It's
been,
easy to. You see the trailers, you're like, oh.
right, and it's more out there now, which is a good thing. You know, people can recognize it more. But it was more like other things that I just kind of gripped onto, and like you said, you know, maybe it was your guitar, maybe it wasn't. But I think everybody in their life, they just need to, like, you know, kind of wrap onto something, you know, cling to that,
Yeah.
and that can pull you through, and that can be as simple as a fucking band
Yeah.
down, or up to a goal that you have in your life of like achieving some certain even
I mean, shit, dude,
educational
some people just
goal.
like doing laundry.
I mean,
You know what I mean? Like,
you
for real,
know,
like some people just thoroughly forever.
Doing
I'm not one
laundry.
of those people. There's
No,
like, yo, I love
yeah.
doing laundry. This is my
gets
my
a
shit.
gets a laundromat.
Yeah, you know what I
owns it,
mean? Like, and
runs
then
it.
that's just where their zen is. You like, it doesn't
Yeah.
matter how
Dude,
quote
it
unquote
doesn't.
ridiculous that it sounds to the people. That's fucking yours, dude.
It's
you know
what
I mean?
your life is,
Yeah.
and that could be the dude that's down there that owns the laundromat that you go to every day. That's fucking cool as fuck.
He might just be happy that
and
people
just be
are
happy
throwing
as fuck
quarters in his
that are
fucking
coming
machines.
to his laundromat because he doesn't have to go out and work the grind every day. Maybe he doesn't have everything.
He just has to like fix a machine every now and again, but he makes enough to get by.
Yeah,
and he's
get by,
thrilled.
and he's thrilled because he doesn't have to work that grind.
Yeah.
He runs the laundromat, and you guys come, and he gets the bullshit with you. You jump your quarters, he gets by, and that's his life, bro.
Yeah.
And he
You
loves it.
understand. Yeah.
And then you look at people too. Like, you can look at it like stories. Like, you know, everybody knows Matilda.
Yeah, man.
You know that story, you know, or in the movie too, where she's got the powers and everything. But just her life though was just shit.
Yep.
Just
complete
a
dog
shit.
shit, dude. But she
fucking- but
made something of it.
She made
though.
something of it though. She like had the the smarts, and she just went to school every day. Like she wanted to go to school. You cling to school. You could say you cling to academics. You could cling to anything.
Like literally anything.
Like she had any reason in this story. This is a fictional story.
Yeah.
But like she had any reason just to be like, fuck, just cling and just fall into that depression and just my life sucks.
At any second, she could have just let go.
Yeah. I mean, it is fiction, but I'm just saying, like that's
But there's
that's
reality
a lot,
to
but
it,
her
though.
life is relatable to a lot of people's lives. Where you just have those parents that may not really care a lot,
Yep.
and you have to like figure it out yourself.
There's a lot of people enough, dude, where like there's some people I know that I feel that their parents like hold them back. You know what I mean? Almost like coddle them and kind of like metaphorically, if you're supposed to grow to be this size, there's parents that'll like keep you to this size because like that's what the parents comfortable with. Like, yo,
Right.
you can't fucking grow. This is my comfort zone. You know what I mean? Like you're not gonna
And
grow.
you'll have the parents too that'll go like the way fucking opposite and be
just
like,
let you go and let
and
you
be
fall
like the
to the
ones
bottom
that are
line.
like, we need to get you a booking agent, we need to do all this. And
Oh,
those that are like too far.
Dude, for
like
real.
what's the ball's dad's name from basketball? Lamar, or what is his name? Is it
I can't even
LeVar?
think of.
Well,
I'm
LeVar.
pretty sure it's LeVar, to be honest.
The dad.
Yeah.
The dad. Yeah, like him. You know what I'm talking
But
about, right?
dog, yeah.
Yeah, he's like way out there and shit. Like
we
back
going,
off.
dude. We
Like
fucking
back
going.
off, man. Back off.
Like it's a case where like I sincerely feel that like if I become like a parent, is that like I'll want to see where my kid is like goal is at, and then I know that I will have every desire to make that path so much easier. But like move this way,
Yeah.
But like the big thing though is that like we were talking about earlier is that we need to make sure that you have to fail. You have to fail, dude. You know what I mean? Like you don't want to coddle too much. You want to make sure that they can do something, but you don't want to make them too free.
Right.
Is that you have to have at least the structure with the room for them to kind of like bump against the sides to be able to kind of like keep them aligned, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Because like I can't even imagine how hard that game is, dude. But like having like being a parent, so like if you're a parent and like you need your kid to stay inside these lines, if you make the hallway too tight at first and the kid's fucking moving at a velocity that you can't recognize because you're not there every fucking second, you know, you shouldn't be. But like if that kid smack boom and it goes in the other direction like super like tough, you need to make sure that you like understand that and kind of like course correct and make it as comfy and kind of like then
It's like bumpers in a bowling alley.
yeah, dude. Like
Where
you don't want
it'll
to throw a
bounce
ball
back in.
You don't want it spiking back and
Yeah.
forth super deep. If you see it
Yeah,
have that
you
huge
want
spike,
you
need to
want the
make sure,
cushioned bumpers. You don't want
Yeah.
the rigid ones where they just come up on the lanes.
Yeah, dude.
You
like a
want those ones where
pinball.
they got to throw them out in the gutters. You
And it
remember
kinda, like,
those? Yeah, you remember
like, moves
those?
loosely. Yeah, dude.
Yeah. No, dude, it's a tough game. And shit, like I said, my daughter is she's almost 4, and it's still like up to about like maybe 2.5 is that's when it kind of starts for me. That's when it kind of that kind of game. Okay,
It's almost like
where
reality. Like,
where do I start to coddle more and less?
Yep.
It's like it's still it's a
It's
game.
process, dude,
It's
yeah.
a game, dude.
I look at a lot of things as games.
I
A lot
look
of people don't
forward
like
to the
hear that,
game.
but
I
I'm
look
like,
forward
yo,
to the game.
I want a new high score today. I know how I did yesterday. I need to beat that PR.
Yeah.
Let's keep going. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
that's
It's
why
like,
for Christmas I got her a little T-ball thing. It's got the stand, and then you can grow with it. You can have the ball pop out where she can hit it.
nice
I'm
coordination.
like,
and
yeah,
all,
we need to get
yeah.
some more like this kind of sport. I mean, as far as for a sport for a girl, like baseball.
I mean, even just
Baseball's
like getting people moving, dude. I feel
Yeah.
like that's like a really because
Yeah.
like football. I feel like you have to be like you have to be
Softball.
involved in football.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
football.
And like not everybody's trying to be like involved, you know. So I
Yeah.
feel like football, softball, baseball, softball is like one of those like super safe
Yeah.
ones because like
Yeah.
I remember growing up with like one of my best friends, Cody. Like his family, like we'd just go and play baseball for an afternoon.
Yeah. Plus, I like baseball.
Yeah,
I like playing baseball. I like watching baseball live.
I enjoy baseball in general.
Yeah, I mean, so are you like a fan of like watching it on TV all the time, or
I don't watch sports in general. Like I'll
No.
absolutely discuss it. Like I don't watch TV shows in general. Like it's a case where like if I'm gonna watch like a show like Netflix, pick a streaming service. I'll just like binge watch it, be like, that was cool, and then imagination lands. Like for me, for the
Yeah,
greater
so
part
you
of
don't
it.
like really like watch a lot of TV.
No, like not on
Me
a
either.
religious basis.
Me either. Me either. I fucking get lost when people come on here and they start talking about a lot of TV shows. I'm just like, fuck.
It's like
Yeah,
that
it's
with
one of
me
those
for,
like we said earlier. It's like sometimes I'm just like, yeah. Like,
You're like, yeah, I do love that part. That
well, I don't go that far, but I'll try to just be like, yeah, to like, and
No,
like,
I have
you know,
to
like,
for
yeah, okay,
work,
move
dude,
on
for-
because I'm not gonna get it. So just go. Like,
yep,
you
keep
know,
fucking moving with it, dude. Like,
just keep moving.
I don't know, like it's a case where like I like bands, I like music. Like music is like my biggest. It's not guilty, but my biggest guilty pleasure. You know,
Right.
like I listen to a lot of shit. In this case, where like if we were to talk bands, there's a lot of bands that I promise you, you would expect me to know as a metal musician. That I'm like, who the fuck is that?
Dude,
I've never
honestly,
you know what I
dude,
mean?
I would probably be that
Dude,
dude.
for real. And it's a case where like a lot of other like musicians that you or I were like exchanged, like the other person like, what the fuck is that? You know, it's a case
Yeah.
where like, yo, so like it's a big part inside of my life where if there's ever anybody that I feel is like I say this with a loaded fucking gun, metaphorically, dude. But like,
With
if
a
there's
loaded
anybody, yeah, if there's anybody that I care enough, like deeply enough about, that I can like drastically tell has a different taste of music that would probably appreciate what I have to share, we need to make a playlist right now. Like we need to make a playlist. So like,
Yeah.
as you grow as a person, I can hear how your tone of music like
Right.
grew, and you can hear how mine grew. But then because we're like so invested, that both of our like music that we exchange will like grow together.
Yeah.
So like, dude, like even let's say if we grow separate, like even if I don't fucking talk, like fuck you, Kyle.
Yeah.
Like, I can still like add songs to the playlist. I'm like, yo, like this he probably needs to hear those. You know what I mean? Like, and flick
like
it
that,
over,
you
yeah,
like
dude.
that.
And then so if you check enough, you'll see that there's like updated. You'll hear like a couple new songs. You're like, damn, he's going through that, or
Yeah,
that's
right.
really fucking cool. You know what I mean? It's
Almost,
the way of, like,
yeah.
communication, bro. Like
Yeah.
huge.
You get into like tribal music at all? Kind of like when
I
you got, like,
enjoy
tribal
it, but I don't
beats?
listen to it. I enjoy it though.
You like?
So I used to go to, like,
You ever heard
palaces
of
and shit,
Alien Weaponry?
I have not.
Holy shit,
Send it to me afterwards, please.
dude!
Like I'm always searching for new music.
Yeah,
dude. If you
dude.
saw like my Spotify playlist, dude, it goes everywhere. Like the only two genres that I can say explicitly are not involved is opera and country. Not
Opera
nothing against
and
either.
country, yeah.
Yeah, like for real, like I can
Yeah,
legitimately
fucking
say like I
opera,
just
like,
can't.
What the fuck?
I'm not gonna say
Bro.
fuck opera, but like
Yeah,
if
bro.
it's on, I'm not
doing
gonna
it.
turn it off. But I'm also not gonna go anywhere near that.
Maybe if
I
I was
was
like,
this opera today.
maybe if I was like in France or something, and I was like invited like there.
Yeah,
to, like,
dude.
go
Like
to
I'll
the
listen to it if
opera.
it's there, but like even then, like I
Dude.
can't say I'm gonna necessarily enjoy opera. I haven't had my ear connect
You
to
know,
it
there's
like everything else.
sections
and,
of
like,
that
similar with
opera
that.
crowd that are like crunk and shit. They're like, "Fuck yeah, opera!"
And I'm just
They're
like,
all
what the
mocking
fuck?
them. I'm gonna be in that section. I'd be over in the section where everybody's like, "Yes, yes, yes,
Yes,
opera. I
yes.
love this,
Indubitably.
And over there, they're like, "Ah, fucking this bitch."
Exactly.
And I'd
dude.
want to be over there, but here I am, stuck with
It's
all
like
the dweebs.
I want to play, but I don't know how. I don't understand the rules. You know what
Yes, I
mean? So,
don't.
like,
I don't know what to do. It's like
Yeah.
Joe Dirt. It's like
For
when he's
real.
trying to put the lotion on his skin. I don't know what to do. I'm rubbing it in. I'm rubbing it in. I'll get my goods yet. He wheels them down the auto traders. Auto trader, yeah.
dude, it's still a fucking situation. Like it's there. There's sometimes just like
Dude.
no, like overall though, like I appreciate. I've learned that I need to appreciate more than I feel just like depressed about. You know what I mean? Like it's a hard fucking struggle. It's a hard struggle.
Yeah.
But like, let's say that like my whiskey spilled over and just fucking hit the entire table. You're like, fuck. You know what I mean? I have to clean all this stuff. But then you're
Yeah.
not really thinking about the good side of like, yo, like I had like a really like bomb ass dinner today. You know what I mean? Like you're just gonna like focus. You're gonna focus like all of your entire entity onto
Nobody's
the
gonna
spill.
think that. No,
You know what I mean?
nobody's gonna be like,
But
"Oh, I had a
no
bomb
one's
ass dinner today." Oh, it was great.
Yeah, dude, but I mean, like,
This
it's
is
a case
okay.
where
I
you
had
don't
a
want
bomb-ass
to ignore.
dinner.
You don't want to ignore what took place, dude. Like, you can like feel your feelings towards it, but like,
There's
just
an
don't get hung
extent.
up, though.
There's
Yeah,
an
there's an
extent.
extent. But like, you just don't want to get hung up on like the super like bad shit overall,
No,
dude.
yeah,
If it, like,
no, you
envelops your
don't.
entire day.
You don't. But nobody's gonna be like, "I had a bomb ass dinner today." Thank you,
That's
Jack
what
Daniels, for making my keyboard sticky forever.
You're like shaking it out. You're like, I gotta replace this bitch
fuck.
with dinner though.
My dinner ain't gonna pay for this bitch. God damn it. What
That's all about it.
No.
Dude, that's all about
so how much especially in Detroit, come on, so how much like rap music have you gotten into?
There's a lot that I need to get into.
But there's not
into.
like a lot that you've gotten into, like even
No, because like even like growing up and stuff, like
you didn't like
rap,
you
hip
don't
hop wasn't
like rap
there. I
at
don't
all.
dislike rap. It's a case where like when I listen to rap and stuff, I listen to like Most Def Club, Quali, fucking Redman, Method Man. Like
Yeah, you listen to
there's
like
like
the
a
older
certain
stuff.
There's like a vibe to it. Yeah, because I mean like
Yeah.
these guys are still releasing music, dude. Like
Right.
for real, you know.
So
But,
what do you think about like the new kind of rap that's out? Like this
I couldn't even tell you about it if I'm being honest.
No?
Like, I couldn't even.
So
sincerely
okay, so
couldn't
what do
just
you?
got it.
So I wanted to ask you. So what do you think about like mumble rap? When people say mumble rap, what do you think about that?
So that
So
particular
I have a whole
style,
thing for this.
Yeah,
but-
no, run it, dude. Like it's a case where like that particular style I'm not super fond of, but like it's a case where me and my brother were like just talking about music because we both love it, you know.
Yeah.
Is that like he was inside of our backyard like talking to somebody else too. But he was really passionate on the fact of like, yo, just because it's music, it doesn't need to fucking make sense. It's an expression. And he was like, about that shit.
He was
you
really,
know?
really pissed about it. Right?
He wasn't like angry, but he was like expressively like, y'all making a thing about something that shouldn't be something. You know what I mean? Like, and they're just like, yo, but I still haven't like found like a huge appreciation to it.
Right.
Because I appreciate what I do appreciate about it is like the rhythm of just
The beat.
whatever their fucking mouth is doing, you
Okay.
know? Like the rhythm of their mouth, the percussion from their mouth.
Yeah,
Plus like the beat.
Yeah, it can
It
go
hits
with
me a
it.
certain well, I'm like, cool. But like when I listen to the content, half the time I don't really care about it. You know what I mean? But
I wish it
like,
would be more of like a one-liner thing, or like a one part of the song, like just one little like thing they do that,
Yeah.
and then and then it's like, oh, okay, that was cool, and then they go back to rapping.
almost like a breakdown, so to speak.
Yeah.
You know
Kinda
what I
like
mean? Yeah. I can
mini
feel I can
breakdowns.
feel it, dude, because like there's
mini breakdowns throughout the song like that.
yeah, yep.
So I was listening to a podcast with Willie D on it from the Ghetto Boys.
Yeah.
You know about them?
Mhm.
Okay. So he brought up this point that it never occurred to me until he brought it up about mumble rap. And what he said was what he thinks is the mumble rap is getting more promoted and more mumble rappers are being signed because that the big execs and stuff that own basically the rights to all this stuff and can sign these people are signing these people because they denounce the message from the black population
I agree. I'll agree with that right now.
that's coming that's coming through when black people actually rap and say their message.
In talking spirit, dude, like that's a big case where
And
Understand
when
that
I heard
guy.
that, I was like, that fucking makes perfect sense. Because at the same time, you have white rappers like Macklemore was big for a little while. And then
Yeah.
you have Token and you have these rappers out there that you can hear every fucking word they're spitting. And then you go to like the top black and it's, you can't hear. What are they saying? What are they telling me? What's their message? There
like,
is
like,
no
there's
message.
So like I'll
And I'm like, wow, dude, why did I never think of that?
because it's a case where like so understanding where I'm coming from with it is that there's people who listen to like metal with like the screaming vocals, they're like, what the fuck are they saying?
Yeah.
I mean, like,
Oh
so,
yeah,
like, it's
for
case
sure.
where it's remarkably similar with like the screams of metal to like the mumble rapping, because they're saying stuff, you know, and you just have
They're
to
saying
like,
stuff, but you
have to know how to hear it. You know what I mean? It's like the biggest part. Like I'll stay
sometimes you
with
have to
it.
look up the lyrics though, and then today's day and age, if I have to take an extra step,
Right.
fuck
But
you.
that's what I'm saying too. Is that there's people who have to look up like the lyrics for like screaming vocals too.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
it's
for
a two-way
sure.
street. It's a two-way
For
street.
sure. Me.
But like with being said, is that like with a lot of the mumble rappers, even though like a lot of times like you will have to listen to it, look up the lyrics if you're not familiar with like that tongue, so to speak.
Yeah.
Is that they're just saying shit to say shit that rhymes, and because they're having fun behind a microphone. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
they're doing their trade. They found a way to break through whatever success. Thank you. You're welcome. Congratulations. Pick one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, whatever
Yeah.
it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
But like, I do feel that there's like a lot of like the well-known rappers that like speak a message on a consistent basis that get no form, dude.
recognition,
No form of
dude.
recognition. Like, if you don't know about them, you're not
Nothing,
going to hear
dude.
about them, dude. So like, I know that I listen to a lot of those rappers that wouldn't have the recognition or don't have the recognition unless you're like know where to look. So
Right.
like that's where a lot of that I listen to. But in that same breath, though, if me and you made a podcast, not a podcast, but like a playlist together,
Okay, right.
that like those artists would be, I would absolutely fucking tuck.
Right.
Tuck those guys in there, dude. Because it goes back to the saying about the whole thing of like making sure that you're presenting information to people who are actually listening and actually
Right.
trying to receive the message versus here's this. And I just like
Yeah.
rub it in front of your face, and you're like, "Fuck that!" And keep on going
Yeah,
with it. You know, there's
exactly.
a level of difference. And so, because the like mumble rap is like promoted so out there, so easy to get to, so easy to get a hold of, it's almost like cooking at home versus picking up fast food. Like fast food is a fucking dollar. Get it on
Yeah.
the way home. Shut up.
Yeah,
You're eating
exactly.
Taco Bell. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's easy. You know,
Yeah.
so a lot of people eat fast food because it's easy.
Instant.
But like,
right.
a lot of people don't want to, like you said, like, oh, you gotta look at the lyrics, this extra stuff. They already
Yeah.
fucking got. There's a lot of people
Just won't.
gone skis, dude. So,
Yeah. No, yeah.
but
It
no,
is.
like,
I think it makes
I
it makes
agree,
perfect
yeah.
sense. I think it makes perfect sense.
I agree.
If there is but then you can then you can be like, oh, it's like a conspiracy theory. It's like, because everybody's a white supremacist.
Everybody's a conspiracy
you know,
theorist.
I mean, I don't know. But if you were to go along those lines, I'm like, it makes fucking perfect sense to
Yeah.
me. Because why else was it all of a sudden mumble rap?
quick.
It's just
I
fucking
couldn't tell you what year it
gone,
happened
man.
before that shit did.
I mean, like, I don't know what it started. Maybe it started with the auto tune,
Yeah.
because the auto tune and like Lil Wayne was doing that a lot. I remember too,
Fucking
or
T-Pain
whatever.
was killing that shit though. He
You
does
know.
not need it.
T-Pain,
But like,
there
he
you
was
go.
killing it though, dude.
T-Pain, yeah, that's what it was. That's where, yep, he was doing it, and like maybe that's where it started. I don't know, but like,
If you
yeah,
haven't
it's just
heard him without auto tune, you need to. You need that in your life, bro. Just saying. Like, just saying.
bro. I don't know. All I know is when I heard that, I was like, it makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
It does. It just does. There's like there's some rappers like, and I've been like delving a lot more in this lately too. They're like, there's like people like, they say like J. Cole, like he's like a good one that actually raps.
Yeah.
And then there's like a bunch of people like I've been looking up out of Flint, like basically like local ones that are kind of like booming, and like they're rapping. Like that's what I guess that's what I look for. Well, my number one is the beat. That's why I'll listen to like trap music and shit. And that's why I like dubstep and trap, and like I like the beat. Like that's my first and foremost. I like make beats and stuff like with like Fruity Loops and shit. I got like a backlog of just a bunch of shit that I've made. So I love beats. But like once the vocals kick in, I want to hear you rap. I want to hear rap over it.
I want
like,
to hear you handle that shit.
yeah, there's like so many like trap beats. I'd be like, man, if there was like a fucking cool ass rap over this, that would be amazing. I love that. And then you can, because you hear it and then you're just like, damn.
Yeah.
That's what gets me pumped up. Not the mumbling about it, because that's just what doesn't get me pumped up. But maybe it's like, but then again, you could just be in one of those moods where you're just like, I just want.
This is all I need.
This is all I need. I'm
This
just
is
gonna
all I
smoke a
need.
joint. Relax. Not feeling the greatest. I don't know. That's what kind of makes me think. Mumbling. You're not hearing really what they're saying. You're just like whatever. It's
You're just
there.
vibing at that point. You're
Yeah,
just like,
you're vibing. But to me, I like lo-fi hip hop.
love lo-fi.
You love lo-fi?
Love lo-fi.
Lo-fi, dude. I can listen to that shit all day. It's calming.
I feel like
It's
I feel like
perfect
it
to
helps.
study.
because it was a case where who was
Some
it?
people would describe it as elevator music, which I can see some songs when you get into these random playlists and they're starting to play, you're like,
They
whoa,
hit
this
that
is a little
piece.
too piano-y with the
Yeah.
elevator, so I'll skip that one. But they're for the most part, they're not like elevator, but they're close.
Yeah, because I can read books to lo-fi, dude. If
can
I'm
read.
listening to anything else,
Yeah.
like, I can't. Like if I hear
So I mean, you can
lyrics that go
study
over
to it too. you
Yeah,
know?
but I mean, like, so I appreciate comics. I don't read more, or I don't read as much as I like to, sincerely. But like when I was reading through Johnny the Homicidal Maniac, when I was reading through those, dude, like the entire playlist I was listening to on a regular basis was Jay Dilla and Flying Lotus. Like it was just like those two artists on a consistent basis, dude. And I crushed that entire fucking series. Dude. I was like, oh yeah, that felt like
Yeah.
really good. And so like anytime that I think about like reading or just like straight digesting information, Flying Lotus and J Dilla, they hit my playlist, dude. I'll receive all of it. It feels really
Right.
good, So I'll agree that like how to say like lo-fi hip hop, especially like, it's good to study too, because like I feel that I retain more information when I'm actually
Right.
listening to that, because I still feel like I hit that like equilibrium, and I'm still like
Yeah.
activating my mind enough to listen to like this bass swell, that hit, the fucking snare with that dude, the ting ting ting, the bells, whatever.
Yeah, or
Like,
whatever.
there's a lot
Sometimes they
going
got
on.
like background noise in it too. Like there's lots of them that'll pop up and they got like diner kind of stuff in the background. Like
Yup.
maybe like stuff clicking, clanking around. You feel like you're just in an environment that's just kind
It's
of
not where you're at. If
you're
going
kind
on,
of
like, little
uplifting,
trips.
uplifting a little bit. You kind of almost sometimes I feel just like I'm like, all right, I don't know what I feel like. I just feel like
You feel
good.
right though, yeah.
I feel all right. I feel like I'm in good hands.
Yep, proper.
Yeah, proper.
That's very proper.
I feel
Like,
proper.
I feel safe. Like
Yeah.
it's one of those like you're not like, oh man, I have to do this. I have to do this. Like you hear like once you're at a certain frequency, you're just kind of like, yeah, like this is where I'm supposed to be.
This is
like,
I'm vibing.
yeah.
vibing.
I don't know if you play like
just vibing.
video games like that, but like the Resident Evil save room, like when you get to the Resident Evil save room, you're kind of like, oh Lord Jesus, dude, I'm good. I can breathe for a second. Everything's okay. Like I can like get my pockets
dude.
right before having to go back and deal with that fuck shit. But
Yeah.
like, you just feel at peace with yourself, even.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I don't know. For
I love that feeling though.
I longest I went without peace one time was not completing the last Dead Space. I couldn't get past that lady. I could not. You know what I'm talking
Yeah.
about? I could not get past that bitch, and then I had to return the game because I didn't own it. We were renting and shit, and I couldn't get past. It was already like
And you're
3
just
days late.
thinking
They're like,
about
"We're
it.
returning it now." I'm like, "I can't do it." Oh, I never about can beat that bitch.
That's
I never
rough.
knew. So I never knew the end of that fucking game, dude. But Dead Space series was really fucking good.
The remake's coming out soon.
Yeah, there's
Oh,
remakes
Yeah, dude.
for the
They're
new
literally-
consoles.
Yeah, they're just fucking reskinning it, making it look fucking.
Yeah,
prim
but
and
as like a
proper.
GameStop dude, like, are you gonna be like, well, you're not. Okay, all right. You can't recommend the fucking console right when it comes out, can you? Or no?
So, so like taking the gloves off, speaking with all due sincerity, me personally, I do recommend systems on day one.
Do
I
you?
also recommend warranties for those. Reason being, do you remember how I don't know if you're even like anywhere near video games when this
See,
happened?
most people would be like, "Fuck your warranty. You're just trying to get
Immediately,
my
dude.
money. You're
Immediately,
trying to get
dude.
my money."
The reason
Don't
why
take
I
my
recommend
money.
it is that like so the Nintendo Switch, like people who know like technology about that stuff, even if you do, you know what I'm talking about. So day one they had the version ones that came out with the serial number XAW that like were again serial number then like numbers, binary or whatever.
What?
And then so they released a version 2 that's XKW. The XAWs are remarkably easy to hack and you can modify them, sons of bitches, dude. You can do some really fun stuff with the XAW switch.
Okay.
And that's a day one, and you only got it within that window. Think back to the PS3. The original model of the PS3 is backwards compatible to the PS1 and the PS2. Are any of the later models? Nope. They took that feature away.
Oh, they did.
They did. You know what I mean? And again, like anybody that knows this knows exactly what the fuck I'm talking about. So like,
Right.
if you want to not pick something up on day one because you either can't afford it or just don't want to, cool, that's fine. Say that. You know what I mean? But like, even like the fucking 3DS, dude, the people that picked it up day one when like Nintendo had their like, they effectively fucked up the 3DS. I don't remember what they did, but they made a mistake. They made it better with the ambassador program for the 3DS. So like everybody that had the ambassador program like programmed onto their system, they could like download extra games for free that were not involved in like the rest of like the Nintendo network. You like there was a lot of really cool things you got for being an ambassador with the 3DS. And that only happened if you picked it up day one. So like if you're worried about it fucking up, put a goddamn warranty on it. Shut up, dude. You mean like for real, dude? Because like you'll have the opportunity. So like right now, like nobody has a PS5. I have a PS5, like, but nobody has fucking PS5.
You got a PS5, motherfucker.
Yeah, like trust and believe, dude.
PS5,
Like
bitch.
I got a fucking 2-year warranty on that. So if it overheats, if the disc tray, if any of that fuck shit happens that people see like happens on the internet, okay, well as soon as they're back in stock, I'll swap it out and still have one.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I already fucking paid for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm about to get a fucking crispy one as soon as the fresh
So how
ones
much
are
is the
out.
warranty?
$60 for 2 years.
$60 for 2. He's
You're
like,
already
bitch.
you're already spending $500, dude.
Yeah. Oh, so they're $4.99.
Dude, so if you get it without a CD drive, it's $3.99, and with a disc drive, it's $4.99.
So they're selling them without a CD drive?
Yeah, digital only, dude.
Digital only.
Yeah, I hate those systems. It's not like me as like GameStop. I'm not saying like, oh, fuck those systems, profit. I'm like, yo, dude. So like, Call of Duty. Anybody that plays Call of Duty knows good and goddamn well that it's over 100 gigs. Everybody knows good and goddamn well that the other 4 like DLC patches have not come out, and those are not small either. You mean like, oh, new season might be another 30 gigs. New season might be another 60 gigs. Oh, I didn't play for the first 3 seasons. There's a whole another 100 gigs dedicated to this fucking game that I wasn't playing the whole time either.
Damn.
So like, bro, it's thick. So like with the ones that have like the digital only system, like congratulations, you can play 2 or 3 games before I have to like uninstall that and install the next one. Or
And then if you want to play it again, you have to install the whole son of a bitch again.
or drop another $300 on a storage device that's compatible with the system.
It's SSD because that's way more expensive.
Yep.
Than the HDD.
It needs to be an SSD memory card.
It
Like
needs
even
to
if you
be.
even if you use like an external hard drive that's SSD because it goes through like the USB, what is it, micro, the USB B.
Yeah.
Like even if it goes through those pieces, how do I say, it's not going to be compatible because like the speed that it connects through is not going to match what the system needs to be able to operate.
Right.
You know? So like that's the issue. So like you have to spend the $300 on this fucking memory card again, bro.
Yes,
Like
dude.
it sucks. So like I don't agree with the digital systems. I feel like they know what they're doing. They could have made the systems with bigger hard drives.
Well, I mean, but with the disc, I mean, you're gonna put the disc in, but then you're still gonna have to install all those updates, aren't you? Or
Not as much. No, nowhere near as much.
nowhere near as much.
Nowhere near as much.
No.
Nope. Because like the CD is what's like operating Walkman CD player. You're listening to
Yeah.
like a fucking late 2000. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you're listening to it because like the eye is reading the information on the CD and it's making it happen
Right.
there on the screen. So if the CD, as like thick as those motherfuckers, like as much information, like I don't know how many gigs, but like the amount of information that is stored in like the current like generation of CDs is a lot, dude.
Yeah, but I'm
You
just
know?
thinking about all these updates that they come out with. Every single fucking update, every like new season
Yeah,
package.
so like if you're looking
still
at
gonna have to download all that
the additional
shit.
the additional like seasons, I will absolutely agree with.
Oh,
dude.
yeah.
Like the base of the CD is not there. You mean like let's say if like the CD is holding fucking 80 gigs worth of fucking download that you don't have to download. You mean so like 80 gigs on this game and 80 gigs is that on that game is a whole other fucking game that you can store in your shit.
Right.
So like, it all depends. Pennies add up, I guess is the best way to be able to say it. Like I wouldn't say that like it's as small scruples as pennies, but like pennies add up though. You know what I mean? Like,
Right. Yeah, no, I still that's weird, dude. That's weird. I did not know they had like the digital like so does like Xbox have that too? Do they have a digital only or no?
They did one with the past generation for the Xbox Ones. They had like the Xbox One digital only. And people came to be able to buy it and they're like, yo, I want to be able to buy this system. And they're like coming up to the counter with like a stack of CDs. I'm like, that's not going to work in your digital only system. Why not? Because it's digital only. You know what I mean?
Hello,
Like,
hello.
digital only.
Digital.
It only uses digital. It doesn't use the CDs. So it
I
doesn't
ain't
use
got
CDs.
I ain't got the internet. I bought this one because it was $100
Then
cheaper.
you don't want the system, dude. Like,
Well, it was
if you live in the
$100
sticks-
cheaper.
Like, if you live in the sticks and don't have internet, dude, you don't want a digital system. That's just what it is.
No.
And there's a lot of people that work or live between, like,
That's so stupid.
my current store and, like, my last store, where they don't have very good internet. Like, whether they're, like, north of Walker, you know what I mean? Or, like, I don't even know east of what, dude. Like, east of Lowell. You know what I mean? Like, there's people that come through, like, from, like, those borders, you know, where, like, they don't get internet. Like, one of the customers that came the other day, he was bitching. He was like, how the fuck is it 2020 and I don't have internet everywhere yet, dude? I was like, I get it. I get it sincerely, dude. I get it completely.
Yeah.
But, like, not everywhere has internet, so you don't want a digital system if you don't have internet.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, if you're in the middle of a city, congratulations, dude. That is for you. But, like, otherwise, dude, like, the people that have, like,
that is for you, bro.
yeah, 9-hour, 10-hour, 12-hour downloads,
Yeah, dude.
you don't want a digital system, dude.
Yeah, you're sitting there, you're just constantly just waiting to play.
Waiting. You
Waiting
spend all
to
that money
play.
to do shit.
And you're gonna play, and you're gonna lag, and you're gonna fucking just.
And then you're going to uninstall it and install the next one and be right back
The
to
last
waiting.
best game I've played, because again, I don't get a lot of time to play anymore. I got my Xbox around here somewhere. Oh, it's out there now. I got the TV out there.
That's how much you use it. you
Yeah,
know?
right. No, I set it up out there. Yeah, no, my girls use it more. We watch like Amazon Prime and stuff on there, Blippi and whatever they want to watch. But the last best game I played was like the Outer Worlds. Because
I haven't played it yet.
you never
there's,
played it?
there's a lot of games I haven't played, dude.
Well,
Like, I play
I get into
amount.
I get into those kind of games like Fallout and Skyrim and like the games that you can just like you can like save and you can come back like 2 weeks
Just
later.
do whatever you want to.
Just
yeah,
be like,
and
oh
start
yeah,
exploring.
everything's the same. Oh yeah, I picked up here. Okay, and you're like, you just constantly building basically.
Talking
Outer
about
World-
platformers, dude.
I love that kind of shit. You know, there is like advantage to like games like. Well, I did always play like Madden.
Yeah.
I was a big like Madden guy. Like every year I'd get the new Madden and shit. And like that's a game that you can just kind of like play one like football game.
Yeah, throw 15 minutes into and walk away.
Yeah. Well, not me. 'Cause when I
you're into it.
when I play Madden, because I'd play like the franchise, and I would turn.
You're actually building.
So I would turn the quarters up to like 10 minutes at least. I was one of those dudes. Like I would turn it up. I was not doing 5-minute quarters because I wanted like all the stats to be like realistic throughout like the whole season. I wanted it more real.
Yep.
Like you said you're not a big sports guy.
I'd rather play sports than watch sports.
Right.
So like when I say like, play, I mean like actively be there, not like play a video game of.
Okay, right. Yeah. So in these video games, that's what I would do. I wanted to emulate it more towards like the actual like real life.
What would really happen?
Yeah, exactly. What would really fucking happen in real life? Because in 5-minute quarters, you're getting like what, like 150 yards passing, where maybe you really would have had 300.
Yeah.
You know, like,
oh, you get all this. I'm like, well,
that was like
really
just lame to me. I'm like, I'm never gonna break a record. I'm never gonna do any of this. You know, so that was me. So it would be like more like 45 minutes. I need like 45 minutes to get through one game of football.
No, that's definitely cool.
But that extends your experience a lot.
I mean, you're also like enjoying it is the biggest part. You know what I mean? Like, there's no reason to feel not that you do, but there's no reason to feel guilty for anything that you would appreciate, in my opinion. You know what I mean? If it's what again makes you you.
No, yeah, if it's what makes you happy, that's all. Like people will criticize the way people fucking play a video game too, and it's like, dude, it's a fucking video game. It's their fucking time to fucking do what they want to do. If they want to fucking build a tower on Minecraft, who fucking cares?
Build the dopest tower. You know
it could be the dude. I went on Minecraft and dude, I got the dopest monuments. I built a fucking drum set and a fucking guitar on a stand.
Hell yeah, dude.
Dude, and you can like see it as you're coming across the map. All of a sudden, you just see this big ass drum
You're
set
like, yo.
and this big ass guitar, and I'm like, fuck yeah, I built that shit. I put a lot of time into all those stupid blocks, changing all the colors and all that shit. And it was like for nothing. It's like nobody ever see it. You know? Nobody's ever gonna see it. I put the screenshot, but I don't play Xbox all the time. So nobody it's like, but it was fun.
Yep.
It's like it doesn't matter. Like I don't get it.
Everybody needs those resets, dude. Like everybody needs those resets. Cause like
I don't get it.
I started playing
man.
what is it, fucking Maple Story again recently. Like that's been a fucking trip.
Holy shit. Yeah. I never played those games.
Yeah, no, like I played in
I never played
middle
them.
school, then I played for like a year when it first fucking started middle school.
That's
I
like
was
a
"This
computer
game's really
game,
dope."
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I was like, this game's really fucking dope. And then I lived life. And then like quarantine.
This
like,
game's
brought it
dope.
back.
I'm gonna live some life now.
Yeah, dude. Because like, yo, like that's a big way. So like, you appreciate the open world games. Like me personally, I can't play those. I enjoy them when I do play them, but I can't allow myself to like fall into those super tough because like I want to keep going. You know, there's so much more shit.
So much shit.
You know what I mean?
So much shit.
Like I haven't looked in this cave yet. I literally found a cave and I stayed outside of the cave. So like now I'm thinking my entire day like, what the fuck's in the cave? You know what I mean?
What the
Like,
fuck is in the
so,
cave?
like, I need
Bro.
to spend a day getting into the cave, and depending on how deep that bitch is, I might have to spend a day getting out of the cave. And like there's
Dude, it's so fun. But
Yeah.
most of the time at the end of the cave, there's some way out. There's
absolutely.
most of the time.
like that early game and you're still like discovering stuff. It's like
Dude, it's so
there's a certain
fun.
level of like magic.
But
in
it
me
can
that stays
last
with it.
me like that's the thing though. Like, yeah, it will kind of consume like maybe the next day, but it's kind of like fucking cocaine or something. It's like you're just like, fuck, I want it more. But then all of a sudden you're just like it kind of
like,
backs
cool.
off a little bit. You're just like, and all of a sudden then you go back and you're like, shit.
You're like, yo, this is why I play this game.
Yeah,
Dude,
and you just like
absolutely.
keep going. It could last me like Fallout will last me like all year, you know, like 2 years. Somebody like 2 years in, I'm like still like discovering shit. And it's just like so cool. That's why I
play
like
Maple again,
those.
dude.
Yep.
There's so much. Like they keep adding content. It's a free to play game, dude. Like and arguably it crashes so fucking much, dude. It's like sincerely and like,
Arguably
on the
crashes.
page, it's a really fucking bad game. But like for me who like played it back when and still like enjoy what it was and understand what the game, I know what to expect, so it doesn't upset me. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's a really good game, so I don't have to spend like 60 on this, 60 on that, blah blah blah. And, like play all these new stuff. I just keep playing Maple, and I don't have to spend 60. So
Right.
I'm still playing this. It's like the same way that like somebody will play like Madden 17 and love that one the most, and just not buy the other ones because they're still playing that one.
Right.
Again, nothing wrong with it, dude. You find your muse, and yours is hell of a lot cheaper than a lot of others.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
There was that dude in Madden 2 that was fucking what was his name? It was like a Pasta Padre?
I wish I could.
Is that
I
was
wish I could help.
Yeah, no, it's Pasta Padre, and he would always come out with the roster updates for Madden.
Really?
Yeah, so like every year, like he would come out with all the college athletes, and he would like make their attributes and make their character and their name and shit. You could download them
Hell yeah,
for
dude.
for like your next year in Madden to like draft them and shit. So you would be like, so in Madden after the franchise mode, you'd be able to draft your
Like
players.
take your people
Some-
and keep
and-
walking.
Yeah, and most of the time it'd be like all these created, made up fucking players. You're like, you know, and if you're a fan of football, you're watching college probably too, so you know like the big college names that are coming out, and none of them would be on there. And there'd be none of them on there because at the end of the franchise, you know, or at the end of the first year, you go to the draft and it's all created. So he would make these roster updates for all the college people being there. You'd be able to download them and you could draft them to your
So
next year.
cool.
So you'd be like, fuck yeah, this is like, you know, real football, like the people
Yep.
coming out and shit. Yeah.
So the
dude.
people coming into the game are like coming in on TV.
Yeah,
too.
like from
it's
TV.
actually-
Yeah, like the people you're watching, you're like, this guy's going to go into the draft. And then he would put them on there, these roster updates, and create all these fucking players, dude, like down to like linemen and shit.
That'd be cool as fuck.
I'm like, and at the time, I'm like, this dude fucking probably put in so much work.
Just
I'm
every
just-
time. For
Every
nothing.
year, like, what is he getting off this? I mean, he got like famous. I think he's like, you know, on Twitch and shit. But then there was like some problem with him. I don't know. There was something a while ago. But yeah, he would make all those roster updates and shit.
Well,
like,
even
that-
then,
like those
dude,
people
like-
are like fucking cool as shit. Like, fucking keep doing that shit.
Yeah. That's how a lot of like how to say programmers, in my opinion, should like be scattered off of. You know what I mean? If there's somebody making like a whole lot of mods to your game, you should probably hire them. Just a shot in the dark. You know what I mean? That means they understand it already. You know what I mean?
They
Like,
understand your system.
Yeah, like what
Like
do you
for
feel would
Fallout.
be dope as fuck? You know what I mean? Like I'll shoot you down if I don't like it, but like, what do you think? And just kind of like let them voice their opinion because that could be a lot of money. You get. I hate to say it like that, but you could underpay somebody inside of that situation, like straight.
You could.
Side. You could underpay the shit out of them, but like because they're doing what they love. They're not going to be like
bring them on,
bring
them on, like when all their like good ideas are fresh. Like, I'm gonna throw you this 1-year contract. You know, underpay them.
Yeah, even if it doesn't work out,
get their good ideas
like,
flushing,
ideas
and then
rolling,
then maybe you know after that you pay them more or whatever. You know, hopefully
if they make good ones consistent. You know what I mean? Like play it by ear.
I don't know, business, whatever. I don't know how it works in that world, but that would be an option. Yeah, you just find you kind of throw them this little 1-year. Contract or 2-year, underpay them, get their good ideas flushing. Okay, this is working out, and then get them hooked. Yeah, fucking totally. It's business.
It's too intelligent is the issue. I feel like there's a lot of people that don't do it. Like arguably, like if.
But there's a lot of modders out there though. Like I was saying with Fallout, like you could find some people like
you can make a whole fucking team.
You could find some people out there like. This is a great fucking mod. Like this could add to the storyline and just bring him on. There's your underpaid fucking intern, basically.
You don't even have to scout them. Like people will report them and say, "Look here."
They rate them. They rate them and shit. Like the mods and stuff. Don't they like rate them and stuff?
Yeah.
Like this was a great one, and you can like comment on them.
You literally get to see who's the top performer.
The top performing ones.
You see the top performer.
Literally no effort.
Yeah.
Into going into investigating.
Drop them a
the
fucking
top
message
ones.
in game, bro. They're
Dude.
like, yo.
Exactly.
They're on.
There's nothing you have to do. Like you're talking about like talent buyers and like stuff like fucking how much easier is your job, dude, as a talent buyer for that? You have a rating system.
Like check the ratings and just talk to that guy.
That's all you gotta do. Is you just log on to like Xbox or PS5, whatever, and look at the ratings for the fucking mods.
Yep. And they don't do that.
Because they're like worked right into it and shit. Like the last I looked, this was a while ago, I thought they were starting to integrate that shit right in. You could just go get your mods from your Xbox and shit. No?
Not fully. I mean, like,
Not
because
fully. You gotta,
Xbox
like,
is like doing
download
the
'em.
whole like PC stuff.
Yeah.
Xbox is becoming more of a PC like with every year. It's actually really cool to see.
It is. It is. That's why I was always more intrigued with Xbox.
Yeah, there's people like, what is that? It's fucking weird. I'm like,
It's
they're
a
making a
box.
fucking power play, dude. Like, that's to say that me and you, like, we challenge each other in a leg race, right? And then, like, while I'm running, I'm putting on a jetpack. And getting ready to fucking, like, fly off. You're like, well, I didn't know we could bring jetpacks. Never said we couldn't.
Right. That's it.
Like, we're going, dude, for real.
Right.
So, I feel like it's like that. So, like, Sony, like, I sincerely wonder what Sony's going to do to be able to keep, like, that core audience. Because, like, two things will happen. May happen. Sony will be like the core of like the systems. Like Nintendo will always be on an island.
Yeah, they'll always
like,
have their own niche and everything.
Yeah, so like Sony will be the home console. Microsoft will be, I can be a console, I can be a PC. What you got? I want your money. You know, like that will be like Microsoft, and then PC is gonna be PC. So like I feel like they're like slowly establishing like a ladder, so to speak. You know, like get people in a game and kind of like let them go through because that way everybody eats. I feel like it's smart as fuck. Like I'm not saying that that's what they're discussing, but if that is what they're discussing, that's smart as fuck, dude.
So you're thinking more of like the Xbox as a stepping stone to the PC?
Absolutely,
world?
yeah, absolutely.
So you get them into the Xbox, and the Xbox is like, look at all this extra stuff that Xbox can do, but if you had a PC,
like that like Microsoft in general is usable on the PC, right?
Right.
So there's a lot of people who are like, why do I need to buy an Xbox? I can use my PC to buy Xbox shit.
Right.
So Xbox is making money from the
both
console
ways.
sellers
They've
and
all,
on the PC.
they've been that way for a while.
Yeah, dude. And like meanwhile, Sony is just getting Sony money.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Love Sony, love you, Sony, sincerely. Oh my god! But like in the same case, though, like
they're
Microsoft
the pioneers. I had a
PlayStation.
PlayStation. I had PlayStation 2. I get
dude.
it. But when I got my Xbox, I was just like, I'm hooked. I got Xbox 360, then I got my Xbox One. I still got the Beast Xbox One, the original.
Big boy.
Yeah, the big boy. I still got it. Still runs great. I never had a problem.
Yep.
I had a fucking problem with mine. But I waited. That's why I asked you earlier. I was like, about
the warranties.
about buying day one. People are like, I always say wait. I did. I waited a year or two, and then I got it. And then I never had any problems.
Yeah,
with it,
like I feel even to like follow that is like
it's
it
hard
really
to wait.
What you do. It sucks to wait.
It's hard to wait because everybody's getting it, and you're like, fuck.
You're just looking at everybody else playing. You're like, I want to play too.
But then again, it's like if you're getting a new console game right now and you don't have a 4K TV,
you're wasting your money.
Why the fuck are you doing it?
Yeah, no, I future-proofed myself with last year's Black Friday. And that's the only reason why I was like, I need you to see this. Because, like, so two levels of why I rushed out to be able to pick up a PS5. A, fucking want one.
Right.
B, dude, people are going to come to my fucking job asking me questions about that bitch.
Yeah. I want to know about it.
Do I want to be able to be helpful?
Well, I don't know. I couldn't afford it. I couldn't get the PS5. They'd be like, dude, you work at a fucking game store. You couldn't get the PS5? No.
Yeah,
man.
and people were like, hey, like, my system's saying this. What do I do with that? Like, I'm just like, I don't know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or do I, like, drop the cash so I can, like, literally fucking study and see what this new computer is and does and what to expect out of it.
Right.
Versus whatever. Because, like, dude, like, I had, like, a guest that hit me up recently enough, like, through, like, the store phone, right? Like, we're cool outside of work now. Like, rapport.
Right.
It matters.
Right.
But, like.
It matters.
It matters. But, like, how to say, like, he called me. He was like, yo, dude, I'm trying to play this game. And, like, it loads me up, like, up to, like, the basketball, like, whatever screen. And then like, it gets there and it just fucking stops. He's asking me questions about 2K. I don't play 2K. I told him I don't play 2K. Like, I don't play 2K. But, like, with what he was addressing to me, because I could understand how that screen line works with other video games, I'm like, oh, so the computer's booting up and getting to the window screen, and you can't get past the window screen. That's what I'm hearing. Like, taking the information out of, like, the subject and rather just the object.
All the bullshit he's spewing, you're like, okay, this is what's going on.
This is what you're saying.
Yeah, okay, I get it now.
So I told him, I was like, yo, you probably need to update your system. He was like, my system's been offline, blah, 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 blah. And, like, whatever, like, say in this case, not ignoring it, like, listening. But I played, so, like, first day I picked up the PS5, I had, like, the Astro Boy play whatever. You're playing as Astro Bot, and it's actually really fucking dope. I didn't think it was going to be dope, but it is.
Yeah.
But, like, when I started up, it was like, you don't have, like, the most recent update file installed. Would you like to install that first? I was like, hell no. I started playing that fucking game, dude. Crashed my fucking system. I was like, oh, maybe I should have installed it.
Yeah, exactly. Because you're just so pumped. You just want to get into the game. Like, I'll just install this shit later, bro. And
didn't work, dude.
Don't work. Don't work.
So I crashed the system, rebooted it, whatever. And then, like, since then, like, when I had the system, I just, like, let it sit for a while.
Yeah.
Like, because people were saying, like, rest mode was, like, fucked up. So I was like, not putting it in rest mode, just gonna fucking turn it off.
Yeah.
So I turn it on, check for updates, see if there's an update my system, then just turn it right back off. So it has the update, so it's going to communicate well with the next one. But if there's any sort of issue, it's not going to be affected by whatever that issue may or may not be. So update the system, turn it off, listen to updates, and, like, once I didn't hear, like, complaints in general, start leaving my system on. See what's going on with it. Again, I have a fucking warranty with it, so I can literally see day by day. This is what systems are doing. If anybody asks me about this, I can literally, that happened to mine. This is what I did to fix it. You know, so I can literally troubleshoot the issue.
And those are the fucking good ones that you want to run into at a GameStop too. You're like,
dude, for real.
Like, they can explain it all to you.
I'm one of the few, dog.
Yeah, exactly. Like when the Red Ring of Death came out with, like, the 360.
Yeah,
you know, you're like,
and I bet there's a lot of people. What's going on?
Yeah. Like, well, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Like, oh shit.
Yeah, and you're like, fuck. The one who sold me doesn't even.
Doesn't even know. When this shit happened to me, I can't play shit on my fucking 360.
Right, he sold this shit to me and didn't care.
Yeah,
why am I gonna shop here again?
That was a big thing, man. That happened to mine too. I got the fucking red ring. I did. I got it. I was like, fuck. What the fuck happened? I don't know what I did. I didn't do anything.
You don't know what you did. You don't know what happened. You don't know how to fix it. You
don't
just want to play your game.
You just want to play the fucking game.
It's a whole lot of uncertainty going on. And, like, you just can't be like, I'm just go to sleep. Because if you're, like, truly, that's like, this is going to be a fucked up metaphor, especially for today. That's like being a small child looking forward to Christmas, and then like you're watching the lights being put up, you're watching the tree, you see the presents and shit, and then waking up on Christmas and it's all gone, bro.
Burned down,
It's
bro.
not even burned down; it's just straight
Just
missing,
gone.
dude. So like, imagine like your room, all your posters missing, speakers missing,
gone.
speakers missing. You're just like, there'll be definitely like, what the fuck? But at first, that initial shock, you're like, I don't even know how to react.
Dude.
You know what I mean? So
Yo.
if you woke up to Christmas, you had like your Christmas tree, you're looking at these like big presents, and you wake up on Christmas all extra early, and there's nothing there, dude.
Nothing.
There's like no trash, there's no like glitter left over, like nothing. Like, it never
there.
fucking happened. How fucked up would you be?
Dude, you'd be so fucked up.
Right.
Bro, I'd be like,
You're like, yo, who do I tell about this? Like, should I tell them
Bro.
like, what's going on?
should I go back to bed?
And if I wake up again, will
And
it be
then
back?
wake up again? Am I living a nightmare right now, bro? Because I never done this shit. So,
Dude, you feel that feeling?
dude,
I don't need that in my life.
I don't need that shit. I feel like I'm sleepwalking or something. Damn, bro. You ever sleptwalk? You ever have a problem with that? Did you?
Absolutely, dude. Absolutely, as a kid.
Oh man.
Absolutely, as a kid. It was really bad because like it grew with me.
Get
It's like I used to. So I stopped sleepwalking, but like I used to sleepwalk, but I sleep talk like a motherfucker though. But like, so I used to sleepwalk. My mom always told me like she found me like over here by the kitchen. She told me one day that like, what did she say? She said like I grabbed like flour or some shit, and then she found me inside the kitchen. I was like just like shaking flour, like, and she's like, "What?" And I'm like, and I'm trying to tell her something about this fucking bag. I couldn't tell
Right.
you know, but she was like, "I don't know what you're trying to say either," and she just kind of like slowly led me back to bed. But like,
Yeah.
I used to sleepwalk like a motherfucker, dude. And like in like middle school, getting into high school, you know, I would have full blown conversations with my mom while I was still like
Really?
knocked the fuck out. Like if you want me to like I always do my remarkably best to speak honest. Like whether I want to say the truth or not. Because like dude, if you catch me when I'm like half asleep, I'll tell you the truth.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I might as well just get
It's
that
like
shit out of the way.
My drunken phase. Like, yeah.
Yeah, dude, like you might as well keep it 100, dude, because like
Yeah.
there'll come a day where you have to tell that person how you feel. And I'm like, yeah,
Right.
this is how I feel about it.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like if you feel that feeling is wrong, we can fix it. But
Yeah.
like if I tell you that this is how I feel about the situation, and you do nothing to change, that means you don't give a fuck. I'm
Right.
good. You know,
Yeah,
like
it's true.
that was one of the parts of like Detroit that I had picked up on and kind of kept with myself. Is that like like you have to understand that like not everybody wants to be your best friend. Everybody wants to be cool with you, but like fuck you at the end of the day. I don't
At
care
the
about
end of the
you.
day, yeah, like fuck you. Dude.
Yeah, dude. Like that's not even disrespectfully, dude. Like let's say if I had to choose between like saving my mom or saving you, I'd choose my mom. Like
Well,
this,
fuck yeah.
obviously,
Well,
like no disrespect. I'm sure
obviously.
that you do the same. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
obviously.
And it's not like no bad shit, obviously, but it's one of those like you have to understand
Yeah.
that like at the end of the day, like some people are like tight knit with you, other
Yeah.
people aren't.
Yeah.
You can't be upset about that. Like not
No, you
everybody's
can't.
gonna be the closest to you.
Not
And again, like that's
everybody.
that
Yeah, I know.
being aware of who actually wants to, who actually cares. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
You'll find your people. Everybody has a pack. Like whether they recognize it or not, some people are like super alone. They're like, nobody wants to talk to me any day.
Well,
And
it's
their Facebook Messenger has like 86 messages.
It's like my great grandpa used to say, you know, he'd be like, you know, at the end of the day on your deathbed, you're gonna be able to count your truest friends on
Yeah.
one hand. You
That's
know,
the truth.
you got 5 fingers. You know, your closest
The closest.
friends. You can count on one hand. It's not gonna even probably take all the 5 fingers.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that's what you got to look at. I mean, you got a lot of friends. People got a lot of friends. And that's good. It's good to have lots of friends that you can go and hang out with and you can have a good time with and you can talk to sometimes. But at the end of the day, those people like that are the closest to you, you know, you can count on one hand. You know, and I'm only 30 years old right now, and I can, probably do that right now. At this very moment, the ones that are just there,
Because they want to be
yeah,
there.
exactly. And that's no knock to any other friends that I've made, and friends that I've made doing this, and friends that I've made at work and and stuff like that. That's no knock to any of them. Like we're still friends, but but like you said, you have to
There's
know.
others who will stop what they're doing for that.
Like what you said, when it comes down to like a bullet, it's
like
bro,
the choice will
I'm
be made.
sorry,
if you know the answer,
bro.
Even if you don't want to admit it, like
yeah,
you know the answer.
You know the
bro.
fucking answer to
Like,
that.
yeah.
Please don't ask me that.
Right, man. Like,
you
really gonna put that on?
You're really gonna put that on me, man. We don't need to come up with that kind of conversation right now, man. Bro, let's just leave it
Right,
how it
we
is.
cool, man.
We
Like,
are cool, bro. Like we're gonna scrap. Like I got your back. But
Yeah.
when it comes down to like the bullet, and my mom, or like, dude.
My mom wiped my ass, bro. When's the last time you did that?
Yeah,
okay.
exactly. Sorry, dude.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, shit. And a lot of times you kind of know that too. You kind of know your ground with certain people. You can feel it out. You're cool and everything, and you can call them, go hang out, whatever. But you kind of know there's a certain ground between some people. But then there's other people that like you have certain kind of conversations even or discussions that you have. You just know who is. At the end of the day, you're counting on your hand. You're like, okay, I got this dude and this dude and this dude, like this or this chick or whatever. Like these are my ones
These are
I
my
can go
people.
to. When I really need something, these are the ones I'm gonna go to. And you got that one phone call and shit. You're like, yeah,
like who can I use to reach everybody
exactly.
else?
What do I need? Who do I
Yeah.
call?
And again, that's cutting down because I was talking like the pod. That's even singling down within the pod that you have like who.
Yeah.
Like there's always gonna be that somebody. Like whether you
Right.
whether you're happy it's them or whether you're mad it's them. You know what I mean?
Right.
Let's fucking recognize it. That's the biggest biggest piece of advice I can how to say offer, dude. Because like some people don't have very much to be able to offer or be able to they don't have very much in general.
Yeah.
And with being said, they don't have a choice of this person. Like dude, it's gotta be Jimmy.
Yeah.
Jimmy, you know what I mean?
Jimmy, fucking, I hope you fucking
Jimmy,
answer.
dude, I hope you're here, Jimmy. You know what I mean?
Unreliable
But,
as fuck.
You literally just need to recognize who your people are, dude.
Fucking,
At
that's a
the end of the
perfect
day.
name too, like Jimmy.
Because Jimmy's cool, but Jimmy's Jimmy sometimes.
Jimmy's Jimmy, dude. He's fucking gotta Jimmy him out of there, man. Like
Yeah,
motherfucker.
like yo, Jimmy.
Jimmy.
This is not Jimmy time. This
Jimmy,
is no Jimmy time.
dude, the time you want me to call Jimmy is not good. It needs to be 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
For me to call Jimmy.
Like, yo, man, you want to come over to my, I'm having a show tomorrow. It's at this fucking park. You want to come out? Is it like a family park or is it like a 9 p.m. park? Because if it's like a noon park, Jimmy does not
Jimmy
need to
does
be
not
in the
go.
noon park.
Unless we're talking about Jimmy John's.
Right.
Maybe they'll be there. They'll be there freaky ass fast.
And he's like, yo,
Hit me up
dude,
if you would
call
like
me.
a sponsor on my podcast.
Well, it'll be one of those situations if you're watching a TV show, it shows me and you fucking side profile, right, talking at a park. We're like, hey man, you know what would be really cool? And it pans to your face. You're like, what? And it pans to my face. I'm like, Jimmy John's. And it pans back to the original shot, and Jimmy John's cart is already fucking there. You know what I mean? He's like, hey, and he's waving a fucking sandwich. You're like, freaky fast.
Freaky fast.
There's a commercial, dude. Sponsor this man.
There it is, dude. Jimmy's not normally this fast. Now when it's Jimmy John's. Boom.
Freaky fast.
Oh shit, dude, that's funny as fuck.
Appreciate
God.
it, dude.
We've been going for what is it, 2.5 hours?
Really?
Oh shit.
Holy shit, dude.
Hours.
I can keep fucking talking. I
Damn.
just fucking talk.
We can fucking talk forever, dude.
I can fucking talk.
Oh,
It's
man.
it's a different level of. So my first job was in a pawn shop under the table. First job ever in my life was in a pawn shop under the table. My parents and family don't even know about it. Surprise if you're listening to this.
Surprise.
Surprise. I had a job before Arby's. Surprise.
Yeah, surprise. Hello.
But
I worked at a pawn shop.
dude, for real, it was fun as fuck because dude that taught me in there He absolutely used me. Obviously, free fucking labor. You know what I mean? But like, I got paid, so it was cool enough.
Right.
But like, it taught me a whole lot of like social skills. Be able to see like if somebody comes into the store, just like they're not looking for. You don't go into a pawn shop. Sometimes you may, but like you don't typically walk into a pawn shop. I want to buy this today.
Right.
I'm pretty much like, look at all my shiny shit. Which is the shiniest to you? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then as soon as I see you looking at something enough, I'm like, you don't say you enjoy water, do you? You know what I mean? They're like, yeah, they're like, God damn right, I'm parched. You know what I mean?
I'm parched.
So like, I learned at a very young age to be able to help
water.
like,
I'm
identify.
like, oh,
Yeah, dude. It's a case where like I helped identify, or I learned to identify like what people are looking for, so I know how to like actually talk to them. Again, like me as a salesperson, I don't believe in selling something that I don't feel like someone's gonna benefit from. I just
Right.
don't. You know what I mean? Like, sue me. But in that same situation, bro, like, let's say
at the end of the day, it's
at
not
the
going
end
to be on
do
you.
you want them to come back or not? You know what I
Right.
mean? It's like another layer to be able to look at it. Like, do you want the residual customers? Okay, well, I'm building you up a clientele because I'm selling stuff that people actually are looking for. Like, will I upsell them occasionally? Absolutely, it's my
Right.
job to. But like, will I make sure that you're grabbing what you truly should in the process? Absolutely. You know, like some people, as far as like managers, they don't like hearing that. Like, oh, you're not upselling everything. What the fuck? Bottom line. I'm like, but I mean, I'm building your bottom line in a more authentic manner, though, in which I truly
Right.
do feel that's why a lot of my jobs have like relocated me from like this store to that store, that store, that store. Is that like I build up that customer clientele to start coming in, and then they'll come to the store while I'm not there. They'll like be more acclimated to the staff.
Right.
And if I'm like training my team to operate in a certain like fashion, they're cool to come in the store even when I'm not there.
Right, because you're building up that just that work ethic too.
This
just
is
that,
me. This is my team. This is who
this is
knows what I would operate with.
Right.
So you can expect the same from
you can
these guys.
you can you can trust these people because I'm leading the pack.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and then so I'll work in a store for 4 months, 6 months to get relocated to a different store to kind of like bring that culture in
And
kind
then
of
get
like,
brought back later on.
yeah, dude. 'Cause I mean,
To
like,
bring it back up again.
yeah, dude. It's a game of hopscotch, bro. Because like it was really fun. Because like when I was working over in I hate that it's fun, but like it was really fun when I was working at GameStop over in like Detroit, especially.
Right.
I'd get placed into like a either average performing store or a store that really just needed like a little bit of uplift. And I'd go in there and I'd uplift it, and then they'd be like, "Okay, congratulations, this store is the new like lowest one. Go over here and fix that." You know what I mean? Like,
Congratulations, we're gonna ship you over to the shittier store.
Yeah, dude, let's go through make it operate. So like there's two sides about this, right? So the good thing is that you can take a turd and polish it so it looks better, and the people are like, yo, that's a better turd than it was yesterday. Fuck yeah. Or like sometimes you like polish that turd enough and it's actually fucking diamond. You're like, yo, I didn't know this. Dude, fuck yeah. And those are like the great ones, you know?
Yeah. Right.
There's some, in my opinion, like feeling situations where if you place into it's things that are outside of your control. I sincerely feel that. However, if there's a time where you get placed into a store where you're like, yo, like this is what it needs. I need A, B, C, and D. You supply the A, B, and C, D shortly. And I supply the A, B, C, and D.
Shortly.
Yeah. Like you can diagnose it, fix the problem, and then kind of like coast in your good work for a while. I'm not saying like coast where you don't have to do anything. Obviously, you have to like maintain that trajectory that you place inside of there.
Right.
But like you're not one of those you have to do better against yourself.
Right.
You know what I mean? Not saying that I would fall to like I didn't even be able to like perform a store at a certain pace and then outperform. Not saying I wouldn't be able to do that, but like as far as retail is concerned, this is just black and white, dude. Whoever hears it is that like at that point you're telling me that I have to work harder this next year than I did the previous year for potentially the same amount of money.
What the fuck?
Like, does that sound wrong to you?
No.
It's just accurate. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like an apartment building fucking raising your rent after a year for no fucking reason.
And it happens every time.
Every time.
Every time, dude.
Every
And
time.
all the extra charges that you get too for like the pets and the garage if you need one, or your fucking even your parking spot. I bet some places it's like you're down to your parking spot. I bet. It's bullshit.
It's straight bullshit, dude. Like I said,
Straight
I've changed
bullshit.
my address every year since I was 17, barring the last 3. Like I've moved a lot.
Are you in an apartment right now?
Nope, just have a house, thankfully.
Oh, okay.
Very thankfully.
What were you paying for rent at your last place?
Last place wasn't fair because like we were inside of the house renting to own.
Well,
like,
okay,
they bought
so
the house
like what
forever,
would
but,
have
like,
been
the rent previously to that is what is it, $540 monthly, and that was not including internet, including utilities, but not internet though.
$540?
$540.
What?
Yeah, dude.
Where's that?
Yeah, so like I probably lucked out.
Was it
'cause it's a
big
case where
or
I
was it like a
I had
2-bedroom,
two
1-bedroom?
roommates. I had 2 roommates.
You had
And,
2
like,
roommates?
Yeah, I had
Get
2
it-
roommates, and one of my
540
roommates,
was it total, or was that what you were paying with?
That's what I was paying.
With 2 roommates.
Yeah, so like what the I got
So it's
dumb shit
really-
lucky, dude.
so
after I left out because
so
like
it's really
I was
like
living with
16
a
something.
couple. I was living with a couple, and like they shared a room that had the other room, so it was like a 2-bedroom between 3 people. So I got like really fucking lucky with the entirety of like the living situation. You know what I mean, I got entirely lucky
Yeah,
with that.
so, but
When I was living by myself over in Walled Lake, my rent was $860 though monthly with no utilities included.
Well, so, but you're still like, that's still like 1,500 or 1,600 though total
Yeah.
for the place.
Yep.
So like, yeah, like me and my wife, we paid for a 2-bedroom here at Meadow Springs apartment. This is like apartment complex, 2-bedroom with the garage, and we had a cat, so we had to pay for a fee for the cat. I think it was like $925 a month.
What the fuck?
And then, yeah. And then the next year they raised it. So it's going to be like $975. It's going to be like almost $1,000.
Because I want to say like transparently, the apartment that I was staying inside with the couple, like over in Southfield specifically, was like 12 or 13. So like it might have been honestly been a case where like we cut it in half, like between the 2 of us, and they took like a little bit extra.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? But, like I feel like it was like one of those cases. I don't think it was like a straight like 555 because like
We're
the place that we were
saving
staying
like $100.
You know what I mean? Because like, yo, dude, if they have their like, so like living space was, they were on the side of like, you walk up a flight of stairs, there's a living room. If you go immediately left, like reach to the left, you're already hitting my door. If you look
Right.
on the right side of the room, like where your stairs are, there's like the other room that is like a hallway that led to their bathroom and then their bedroom. So like, they had access, like easy access to the washer and dryer 24/7. They had this like that wing of the house. And I had this wing in the house. So like I don't doubt for a second that it was like split where I was paying the bigger portion of the 2. But in that same like conversation, I had the master bedroom. So I had a bigger bedroom than both of those guys,
Right.
as well as a bathroom directly connected
So you were
to
paying
mine.
more? You think?
I don't doubt it.
Oh.
I'm not offended by it by any stretch of the imagination, but like I
So
don't
it
doubt
was
it
split
for a second.
between 3 people?
Yeah.
You
3
were
people,
paying
2 bedrooms.
$540.
Yep.
You know, it was 13 something.
I do feel so.
Rob, man.
Ah, fuck it, dude. Like that shit, bro. Like, for real, because like I love those people's like family. Like a big reason why is that like they'd cook on a like they live by like a fucking clock, bro.
Yeah.
Like I don't even know what time it is right now. Don't care, but like if I were to look at the clock, I could tell you what they're doing when they're doing it. They live by a fucking clock. You know what I mean?
10:15 p.m.
10:15, already in bed. PM.
Already in bed.
Already in bed. Yeah, because like they're probably like in bed watching TV, like not quite there. Like one of the 2 will already be passed the fuck out, and the other one will still be awake, actually watching the show. Like that will be what's going on between the 2 of them at that. You know what I mean? So
Dang.
it was a case where they'd cook food every fucking Sunday. Like we as a family would typically like cook food on Sundays and stuff. But like they would especially cook food on Sundays, do laundry on a certain day, and kind of like operate it by a fucking clock. You know, so.
Dang.
Not to say that like I stayed out of their way because like I understood when they were feeling social, when was the times to approach them if I needed like human interaction and stuff, dude. Because like, bro, like let's say if I had like really just dog shit day, pick a job, you know what I mean? I came home, I'd literally be able to. I had the ability to stand inside of the kitchen, yell "son of a bitch," and they would come out of the room saying like, "Yo, dude, what's going on? What's going? Like, let's chill, let's talk, like, let's get you balanced, let's get you where you need to." And like the same applied to them. Like if any of them came home, because like one came home at 5 o'clock every day, the other one came home at 8 o'clock every day, by a clock. You know what I mean?
Damn.
But, like, if any of them had like a bad day and needed to talk about it without the other person, like sometimes it's like You know what I mean? Like, if you're in a relationship, you fucking argue, dude. Let's be honest. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like, there'd be times where, like, they would say something or they would say something. I'd just be there on my salesman schedule, just whenever. You know what I mean?
Waiting for your beck and call.
Yeah, dude, for real. So, like, if I ever had to talk to him, I knew what to expect from what day, from what time. And it was really cool because, like, I got time with him, I got time with her, and we had time together. It was really fucking... It was a big part of my growth that I know that I needed that I didn't realize I needed.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, because, like...
being able to kind of work that out and, like, expect it in the future, too, kind of way.
Yeah, we didn't even work it out. It was just kind of me being...
just
giving
trying.
enough of attention and seeing these are my roommates' habits. These is just like the fucking job thing, you know? Like learning a new manager, like knowing what they're cool with, knowing what their gray areas are, knowing what they appreciate, knowing what they hate. And then you kind of like just like walking appropriately. Like, is that changing yourself to do so? No. But like,
exactly.
Like so much goes into that, dude. Again, employees, relationships, friendships. Pick one.
Exactly.
It applies, dude. Like everybody has rules, everybody has boundaries, everybody has expectations where they should or they shouldn't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just fucking base bottom line. If you're vigilant, you give enough and you pay enough attention, you'll see it. But if you don't, it's gone by the wayside, dude.
It's gone by the wayside. It sure is.
For real.
Well, I think at 2 hours and 40 minutes, we should probably wrap this up.
I respect it.
I respect
Listen,
that.
I can talk forever.
Dude, we can,
like,
we
there's
can talk
a lot of
for, we can
information,
talk.
there's stuff I
I
think
mean,
about.
we can talk even more too. But you know, as far as editing, oh fuck, that's a lot. That's a lot. That's a lot from me right now. Until we get our new setup up and running, we're investing in some stuff, and we're gonna get some things where it like edits it and it, like switches. Like every time I talk, the camera will switch to me, and every time you talk, it'll switch to
that's
you.
dope as fuck. Like almost like a voice, voice recognized.
Yep, it'll be voice recognized. Like right now, like when we edit, like we like
you literally have to take both of them, line up the fucking seconds, and fucking cut.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. That's why the last couple have been going split screen because like Rich Rich is here, but you know it's holidays, so he had stuff going on, which is fine. You know, I'm surprised I had a double podcast today. I'm like, dang. So, anyways, you know, like he's his work's been busy. I've been editing our Urbex videos, and you know, so like some of them in the split screen, which is fine for right now. But you know, hey, we're putting it together as we go.
It's the same thing I was saying earlier, dude. Like, you got to start from somewhere and fucking build, dude.
Exactly.
It's during that building process, especially if you get like a core base, bro, you'll fucking get
and you got that idea, and it's like I was saying earlier, like I had this idea, and I'm like, well, I'm just gonna do it. We're just gonna roll with it and see how it goes. You know, all I had was my cameras and shit, and I'm like, let's just do it this way.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, shit, but it's been fun.
Yeah.
It's definitely been fun. We covered a lot of fucking shit. I learned a lot of shit about some fucking, some more retail world and shit.
There's a lot.
I learned a lot. We all learned a lot today.
Facts.
Whoever the hell has been listening, Right.
Yeah.
It's been cool.
Mutual,
Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for the invite. Like, I appreciate it.
Everybody go check out Alcoa Silence.